how you doing? It's another in-room stream, I'm afraid. I wanted to be in Pattaya today, but I couldn't extend the night in the room. The hotel that I stay in, the Nature View Hotel, there's a few gentlemen clubs at the front, and it's real noisy until 2 o'clock. And I wanted to spend a night in the room editing a video because I had some video that I needed to edit. It takes time, you know. Enjoyed the day, stayed in the room. But they didn't. The room I was in was overlooking the pool with a balcony, and somebody had booked it for tonight. And the manageress, I know her quite well. She's a nice girl. She said to me, she said, "Well, we can accommodate you, but you're going to have to change rooms over to the front." And I said, "No, I'll come back in a couple of weeks." So, unfortunately, I'm in the room in Bangkok tonight. So, how's everyone doing? Oh, and I've got a great story for you. The first night I went out, you know, all the videos I make, I always say, "Be careful, guys! Don't get ripped off. Here's 10 things you should know about go-go bars and all the rest of it." I got ripped off, yeah. But I had the last laugh, and it's quite an interesting story. When we're about half an hour in, I'll tell you what happened to me. That was on the first night I was in there in a go-go bar. But like I say, I got the last laugh. All right, so who's in tonight? Shin Rana, how you doing? Unfortunately, Shin, the poll's gone against you. I'll talk about that later on as well. I put a post out there and I said, look, somebody had written to me and said, look, you know, the competitions that you do are, well, I'll do it now and then I can do it near the end so everybody knows when there's more people in. Somebody had written in and they said, look, you know, you're getting lazy and you look bored and the competitions are really boring and they don't do anything for me anymore. And some other comments said, no, I really like the Ladyboy competition. I like this one, I like that. And you don't know, you know, you're trying to please everybody. So I thought, well, the best thing to do is put it out there. And I've got the results. And here's the results of that poll. So you can see you can't really count the number 3 because the people who clicked on that one, it was just, I couldn't care less as I just enjoy the live stream. So they couldn't care whether the competitions are there or not. And as you can see, the people who want the competitions to continue are more than double, just about exactly double, nearly double of the people who said, yes, the competitions are getting boring. So with that in mind, I've got to go with a majority. So I'm going to keep doing them. But what I think I will do, I'm going to get rid of the Hooters competition because that is getting very stale now. The Ladyboy competition, I'll keep right to the very end. What's the other one we do? The Spot the Thai Girl, I'll keep that one as well. I've got lots and lots of stuff for you tonight, but just to get you in the mood, because I'll do this twice tonight, this is funny. Just to get in the mood, who remembers this?
And next one, please give me cock. Cock. It's cock actually, right? Do you have cock? Please give me cock. Oh, please give me cock. I want a cock. Please give me cock. Cock. And ask them the price of cock.
Poor girl. I don't think she really realised that's a real viral video now. Some of the biggest stars in the world have watched that. You know, on they do reaction videos where the person's on one side of the screen and she's on the other. And she's a Korean teacher. Actually, it's just a famous video, but it's unbelievable, isn't it? Okay, let's start saying hi to everybody here, and let me just get rid of that for a while. Where are we? Get rid of that. And then I'll put up these. Now, somebody out there who watches a stream quite regularly said, oh, can you put the currency rate up for my country? And I forgot, I was going to do it, and I didn't write it down. I forgot who it was. So if you're watching this, let me know which currency, and I'll make a note of it for next time. But in the meantime, guys, I'm going to say hi to Shinrana, Michael Ward, No Name, This Is Our World, the Monga, formerly known as Fake Ed. How you doing? Lovely vampire girl there. Martin Ryder, Richard Woolley. You missed the live one on the beach, didn't you? It went really well, actually, Martin. I was just sitting on the beach in Pattaya. I had a great time down there. I'll tell you about it a bit later. And I thought, why not do a stream? I'm on the beach. It's nice. There's people around. And I was expecting 40, 50 people in because it was unannounced. It was the wrong time of day. I got over 200 people in, you know. There's only 158 here. So it was really good. And it went really well, actually. It flowed really well. I'll definitely do a live stream from the beach every time I go down there. Clive, how you doing? Who else we got there? Crypto Chris, how you doing? Glenn Ranford, just say a quick hi to Jeremy and thank you for pointing out an error on the thumbnail. I'd originally put 11 p.m. UK time for the start. He wrote to me and said, I'm getting a bit confused. Is that right? So I changed it back to 4 p.m. Who else we've got? Steve James, how Sunday complete? Yeah, thank you, James. Leeds, how are you? Alpharetta Jim, good evening to you. Ryan Seeger, hello, Peter, all my fellow companions, 50 days. Yeah, a lot of people talking about going to Bangkok or Pattaya now. 50 days till I leave and 49 days to find some spending money. Okay, Robert, you'll have to rob a bank. Have you noticed I'm a bit green tonight? I'm using the green screen, but I've figured out what the problem is. I've got all this light in here. Every video I ever watch about having a perfect green screen, uh, they say it's all about lighting. If you don't know what a green screen is, what it is, there's another uh, person, quite a popular vlogger, YouTuber, who does the same sort of thing as me. They have a picture in the background, but they don't use a green screen. And what happens then? Their face distorts. You've got to have this green screen. But the reason there's so much green showing through is I've worked it out. It's because it's very close to me. It's at the end of my bed. My bed's behind the green screen, but I've had an idea how to get that better. And of course, I haven't got any natural light because it's night down here. It's just gone 11 o'clock. You'll have to. You'll have to forgive all the coughing. I've got my fingers crossed. I sat next to a Chinese guy on the bus going down to Pattaya, and he was coughing and splurting all the way down there. He was wearing a mask, and I've started coughing now, so I'm just praying I haven't got it again, you know. HFC65, hi, I hope you're all well. Yeah, how you doing? Mike, yeah, thanks for your very nice comments that you always leave on the stories. Evening, Peter, evening all. Nice Sunday afternoon, relaxing and all ready for the live streams, yeah. Let me just get rid of this. That's enough for now. Just say a big hi. I don't know if they're in tonight, but just say hi to a couple of new members there, David Daniels and Old Josh. They might watch this on the rerun. So yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Okay, let's see who else in. Damien, how are you doing? Good to see you in. Mickey Berkshire, evening, Peter. Let me just say a quick hi to Christopher Tate, first super chat of the night. Hi, Peter. Great to have another Sunday stream. Yeah, thanks, Chris. That'll get me a couple of beers. Appreciate that. Who else we got? Yeah, you see, I'm worried to death now. And I tell you what else happened in Pattaya. You know, I love seafood. I don't mean the fish. I mean anything like it's really a bit unobtainable in the UK, for instance, like fresh crab and fresh prawns. You can get that sort of stuff from the fish market in where is it, Morrison's, but it doesn't taste the same. You know, it's normally water prawns as opposed to sea prawns, and the crab's been frozen and then deep. It just doesn't taste the same as fresh seafood from here, and I can't resist it. You know, and if you go to one of these big restaurants that goes over the water, it's very, very expensive. So when you're sitting on the beach, you know, you get these people coming around selling. And somebody asked me last week, they said, do you eat the food on the beach? And what I'd said is, if it's cooking, I do. Like I won't, if somebody's carrying a tray of spring rolls or some not samosas, but, you know, that sort of thing where they've been fried earlier and they're all piled up on a tray, and because flies land on them. There's a few public toilets along jumped in, and I've been in one, and the woman's put her stuff on the floor, the tray on the floor outside the toilets while she's gone in. Well, you know, there's no way I'm going to eat something like that. But you know, if they go around, and they carry the who's done that super chat? There's another one there. Charles Sanders. Thank you, Charles. Can I put that up? Let's have a look. I'll carry on with this story. There we go. Yeah, very generous of you, Charles. Thank you. Yeah, so if they're carrying around, it's like a clay pot, charcoal inside it, and normally if they've got corn on the cob or maybe some shrimps or something, I will buy it because I figure, look, it's in the heat, it's probably safe. Well, I'm a big lover of seafood, as I said, and what happened was she came around, and the first one came around, she had a bag of mussels. I said, how much is the mussels? 100 baht. I said, okay, I'll have it. How much are the prawns? Big prawns, you know, 100 baht for 5. I said, what about the crab? 150. So I said, I'll have a crab, and she breaks it all up for you know, beautiful, beautiful, sitting on the beach eating all this fresh seafood. Ate it, and I really enjoyed it. I was looking, I thought, oh, I hope she comes back the other way. I want some more. And this other woman come along, and I said, how much are the mussels? And she said, Roy Hasip, 150 baht. And I said, and there was a Thai woman sitting next to me I'd been speaking to with her boyfriend, who was very nice actually. And I said, tell her I'm not going to buy them because a woman before her sold them for 100 baht. She's expensive. And then she come back down to 100. It's all done very pleasantly, smiles and all that. It's all a game, isn't it? They want to maximize their income and we want to save what we've got. So I got them at the same price. But the point of the story was, Jesus, I had to stay in the room last night. So that was 2 nights in the room. I only had 1 night out. I didn't mind because I had a lot of editing to do. And I had some beers. 7-Eleven was across the way. So it wasn't bad. And I must have gone to the toilet probably 15 times last night. And, you know, without getting too graphic, when you've finished doing what you got to do, you start getting a little bit raw down there. You know what I mean? With the paper and everything. Bloody awful. And I thought to myself, God, I hope I don't get food poisoning. Today, so far, so good. Rob, thank you, mate, for that. That's a nice super chat there. 16 days until I fly, but I'm coming, but I'm not coming, laugh out loud. Hopefully we can meet for a drink. Definitely, Rob. Definitely, if you come out here and you don't contact me, I'll be cheesed off. I'd love to meet up with you. And thanks for the super chat. Right. 188 in now. It's a funny time of day, isn't it, guys? You know, when I used to do the Friday night stream at 10 o'clock, it's a perfect time. Used to get 500 in, but I know it's just a funny time in the UK. But I am going to tell you this story. You know, like I say, I keep saying, don't get ripped off. Here's 10 things to watch out for. Here's 20 things not to do. Go. And I was ripped off. I was ripped off on my first night there. Couldn't believe it. But I went out with a smile on my face. Put it that way. It's a good story. Good story. And a perfect example. You know, because you know they just treat you like mugs, absolute mugs. Right, Brian, how are you doing? Brian Street, Laha Malik. I'm going to put that up there. Obviously, an Indian name there. Good to have you in the stream. Who else we got? George, you're out there somewhere with a name I can't pronounce. I seen your chat earlier. Thailand found. Hi everyone. I'm looking forward to coming back on the 7th of February, visiting Pathum Thani and down to Pattaya for a week for Valentine's. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's very busy now. I put a 1 minute clip up of LK Metro, and I just happened to get it when it had been really packed, and I thought, well, I'll film this to show everyone. And it kind of went down a little bit, and as soon as I've done my filming, it come back up again, sort of thing. And someone wrote to me and said, if you think that's busy, you know, you've been in Hua Hin too long, and it really was busy, honestly, guys. Alfredo Boswell, how are you? Franco, did I say hi to you? Franco and Damon, keeping an eye on everyone tonight. Rumble, good to have you in. Dutch Farang, haven't seen you for a while, Dutch Farang. Danish Bacon and Dutch Farang are two staples of any live stream. I haven't seen you for a long, got to be a month at least. Good to have you in the stream. John Campbell, hi from Hua Hin. Nino, how are you doing? How far behind am I with these now? Not too bad, not too bad. Nomia Inspector, how you doing? Dave Darkin, good evening, morning all from a Canadian manga. Yeah, okay. I'll tell you the other thing I noticed, Dan. Now I'm going to keep breaking into these hellos. If you're a single guy and you come out here and you're looking for female company, the quality's just not here, guys. You know, really. Let me rewind on that one. Walking Street, if you go into the big go-go bars on Walking Street, you know, the ones where millions have been spent, there is some nice looking girls in there, but you know, the Soy Bacau and Tree Town, and yeah, there's a lot of girls, but it just doesn't seem to be it's hard to put my finger on it. You know, just the quality doesn't seem to be there. But you'll see, you'll have a good time if you come here. Definitely, I had a great time in Pattaya. That's why I don't want to live there. You know, you'll never guess who I bumped into. I was in a restaurant all by myself, and who walks in? And he was getting a takeaway. I'll let you have a think about that for a minute. Oh God, you know, if I wake up tomorrow and I've got COVID, Jesus, I've got to go back to the UK in a month. Arto Lax, how you doing? No Strings, hi. Andrew Gaskin, just having some Isan food on Sukhumvit. Yeah, good one, nice one. The only thing with Isan food, it tends to have a lot of garlic, gatiam, you know, and I'm not I just can't stand the smell of garlic. Let me give you another quick tip, because it's all going through my mind as I'm talking, right? You know, I said it's great to take the bus to Pattaya because you can get down there for 131 baht for a megamine. It's a great service. It was going every 30 minutes actually on Friday. I don't know if that's just a Friday or every day. I thought it was every hour. Don't try to get the bus back from Pattaya on a Sunday. I got there. There must have been, without exaggeration, there must have been 40 to 60 people in the queue. Right now, I think they go every hour from Pattaya. I said it right, like Pattaya. I think they go every hour, and the queue was about 50, 60. Well, how many can you get on a coach? 60, 66? And I looked and I thought, well, there'll be one coach. It was 10 to 1, right? I thought, well, there'll be one bus ready to go, and all the people will be sitting there. So that bus is full. The next one will go in an hour's time. So that'll be this lot in the line. And then I'll get on the next one. So I would have been in the bus station for 3 hours. So I bit the bullet and I went with Bolt, and it was 1,400 baht, but you should have seen the car. I mean, you know, with Bolt taxis, they're not real. It can be a real taxi, or it can be just some guy with his car. And the guy who picked me up, who's a young guy, he drives in the evening. He drives in the evening for Grab, you know, and he drives a taxi in the daytime. And the car he turned up with, it was bright green, and it was the sort of car you buy when you're 17. You've only got 500 quid in your pocket. It was a piece of crap, basically. We've gone up the motorway, up the highway, and the back shock had gone on this side. It was like da, 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 all the way up. And you know, he was a nice young lad. Well, I say young, he was about 32, 32, yeah. He's got working 2 jobs. He's trying to provide for his family. He was a nice guy, so I didn't complain, but I did feel vomity at one point because he's weaving in and out the lanes and he was braking hard. So I used Translate and I said, "Listen, you need to calm down. I'm going to vomit in your car." And then he was perfect after that. But the moral of that story is don't try to take the bus back on a Sunday around lunchtime because everybody's coming back. I think next time I'll come back on a Saturday because all right, people are going on a Friday, coming back on a Sunday, aren't they? Dean Isan, how you doing? Good to have you in. I'll put that up there. Yeah, you're laughing because I can't pronounce your name. Richard Woolley, how you doing? Right, Thailand found. I wish I knew where you found the cult clip. Well, just send it to me, and just send me an email, and I'll send it to you. It's not a big deal. Yeah, the old Chang. Oh, it sounds really good with this. I've been playing about with lighting and microphones, and I don't actually like wearing this. It's a call center, but it's so crisp. And I listened to some of the rerun last week. It's such good quality. I'm going to put up with it, and I'm going green here. So anyway, going off topic here. Soy Dog, hi Peter. 2 great stories yesterday. I finished with a Thai go after 8 years. Kept going on about building a house until I had enough mentally. I thought the first story by the German guy was pretty good. He was paying 4,000 baht a day because he was infatuated with this girl. No, I mean he was he was quite wise, wasn't he? The way he ended the story, he realized for what it was. But it was the line that she said when he said, "Do you want to spend your whole holiday with me?" And she said, "Well, yeah, but I'm popular, so you're not getting any discount. It's going to be 4,000 baht a day." And he was like, "Fair enough." I thought that's when I would have walked if I was in his shoes. But um, Andrew Macri, greetings from Gatwick. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong there, Andrew. The last name that is. Putmaster One, hi. No Strings, hi. Paul Pablo, how you doing? Benji Bain, hi. Heading to Jomtien and Hua Hin in April. Good stuff. I'll be coming back to the UK about then. So maybe you can do a live stream and I'll watch you. Exit to Thailand. How was the sea? A bit choppy. No, it's nice, really nice down there. I'll talk about it when I've said hi to everyone. Keenock, bonjour, Peter, and all the Cronenberg is flowing. Yeah, well, when I'm in Thailand, I've swapped now from Leo to Chang because it's two baht cheaper a can. No, I like the taste. Seriously, I like the taste. I bought some more fake shirts when I was in Pattaya. This was 250 baht. I don't know if you can see it's Adidas, but it's really nice quality. Normally the fake shirts are really crap. I mean, look at this one. I bought this one and I'll never ever wear it. Never. I wear it in the flat, in the apartment, in a condo. A Thai girl said to me yesterday, she says, "Oh, don't call it an apartment. Nobody knows what it's called. Call it a condo." Well, fair enough. Look, I bought this thing. Look at this. Right, look at the width of that neck. Right, logo there. Logo on the back, cheapest piece of crap you've ever found. But this one, I bought 3 others down there. This one's real nice. Where did I get these from? Mike's Shopping Mall. If you go in the basement, and if you're a big guy, I'm quite a big guy, I'm 6'1", right? And you struggle to get your size, you will get them in there because they cater to flang, in bottom of Mike's Shopping Mall. You can also get them in the night bazaar on the second row, but they're a bit more expensive there. 300 baht. I paid 250 for these. Just as you walk in the glass door, the first lady on the right, she's the cheapest. She does 250. A lot of the other ones are 350. And I bought another cap that was 150 baht, and I was surprised because they're normally 200 baht on Sukhumvit. Okay, let's have a look. Jan, how are you? Greetings from London. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Jan. That's very kind of you. I'm dying to tell you this story in a minute. Bart Simpson, it was enough. It wasn't the cough that carried him off. It was the coffin they carried him off in. I used to say that years ago. David Barnett, how you doing? More than as long as you can still taste Thai food, you'll be fine. Yeah, I can still taste food. That's the other problem about Pattaya, because there's so much great food down there. You just all cautions thrown to the wind. You just enjoy yourself. You eat what you want. I mean, I'll tell you a great place to get some Chinese food, and you won't believe what I bumped into in there. Black Bolt, how's it going, Peter? Hello to everyone. Mara, please adopt me. Okay, a bit of an unusual request there. And as you'll notice, I haven't fixed my glasses. Well, I'm still waiting for the glasses. They're still wonky. The guy who was complaining about the glasses. I thought he was going to maybe. I always make sure I do my hair nice now in case he doesn't like my hair. Right. Then. Hi, Peter. All logged on despite an Cooperative connection, yeah. I love it in this apartment. You know, in England, it's okay, it's 50 megabytes a second, but I'm getting 500, and I've told all my friends here, this is really weird, right? I've got the fastest broadband, you can get 1,000 megabytes, but I don't get, hang on a minute. I think it's just him banging. You know, last week I whispered at the end because I thought I heard him get up, but I went down to the apartment. The buildings manager said, "Did you get any complaints to me?" And I lied. I said I was talking to my daughters in the UK, but he's quite noisy. He's a Thai guy, but he's quite noisy. But I'm just going to carry on. Um, what was I telling you about that? The internet connection. It's really weird because if they advertise 1,000, that's what I should get here, but I don't. I get anywhere between 180 to 350. But you know what's really weird? I use a VPN, NordVPN. I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying I use them. Okay. I go through Singapore. When I go through Singapore, I get 550 megabytes a second. So just a regular Thai connection, 200, 250. Go through Nord through Singapore. 500, and that's what I'm doing now. That's why the picture's so good. It probably won't go, and the sound's great as well. Um, Hi, Peter and all. I read that one. Use a spray thing, not the paper. Yeah, you're talking about my case of having to go to the loo about 1,500 times last night. The problem with that, the spray thing's very good, but your bum gets wet, doesn't it? So you have to dry it anyway, and it's the same thing. You know, you don't want to use a towel to dry it in case we won't go any further than that. Yeah, I wouldn't quite put it like that, Nomio Inspector, but basically, like a flock of sparrows coming out of a drain pipe. Okay, right. Who else we got in? Prior 9. Hi, everyone. Can't wait for the rip-off story. Here's a good story. How many we got in now? 262. Let's give it. We'll give it another 10 minutes and I'll get into it. Bart Simpson, Ring of Fire. Yeah, it wasn't really a Ring of Fire because I hadn't had any spicy food. It was that seafood, you know. It was really nice, but you got to be careful, you know. I paid for it, didn't I? Right, capitals here. Hi, Peter. I was wondering, how are the prices and girl selection at Nana Plaza? To be honest with you, Nana Plaza is very, very expensive if that's what you're going there for. These days I prefer to go to Soy Cowboy. I just like the whole ambience. You can sit outside. It's still fairly cool. You can sit outside and people watch. There's only the one bar in the middle of Nana, but as far as go-go bars go, I mean, you're paying through the nose. You need a massive budget. You know, if you're gonna get female company to play Connect Four in your hotel room, you're looking, 1,000 baht upwards for a bar fine, and they're asking 3,000 plus. You know, I mean, it's madness, absolute madness. You know, you get much better value in pattaya, much better value. I'm trying to practice to say it properly, pattaya. You get much better value down there, not just with that, but the food as well. It's yeah, you need a big budget. Matthew, you'll have to go stand in the corner because you weren't here last week, but nice to have you in. What are you drinking, Peter? I'm drinking, for the moment, Chang. Are you ready for this rip-off story at 265? Let's give it 5 minutes. Jason, how are you doing? Good evening, Peter. 4 days time, I'll be there. We'll meet up. Yeah, we'll have a walk in the park, like we said. I walk in there most nights, Jason. The thing is, I'm not really a party person because I'm living here now. I know I'm going back in a month's time, but when you come out for 2 weeks to a month, you're out every night. We'll go Cowboy tonight. We'll go Nana tomorrow. We're gonna go over to Pat Pie, and then we're gonna go down to Pattaya, and we're gonna do Soy Bacau. We're gonna do Tree Town. Then we're coming up. We're gonna do it all again. You can't do it when you live here. You can't. You just, especially at my age, you just get tired. Um, but Jason, yeah, there's a park nearby, and it's good to get out and have a walk. You know, it's still fairly cool. I really enjoy walking. That's one of my hobbies. As long as it's flat, you know, I don't climb up the side of mountains or anything like that. Ryan, I stick to the 6/8, the 10. Not, let's put that up there. Uh, I stick to the 6/8. They tend not to be ladyboys. Okay, I thought you said the ladyboys were in a tent there. What's all that about? Gregory Claus, good morning, Peter from Phoenix. Added Thailand to my bucket list. Yeah, you should do, Gregory. It's a great place to visit. Watch a few scam videos before you actually come out for the first time. Donald Trump, how you doing? Your local president in the house. Good evening, sir. Black Bolt, let me guess, the guy that offered 100 baht for you dinner. No, it wasn't that story. That's the done and dusted story. Let me just I know you're freezing your nuts off probably where you are. Sorry about this, but let me just turn the aircon down a bit. Right. Right. Boohoo. Good to have you in. How you doing? we've only been going for about half an hour. I'll try and keep it going for 2 hours, and we will be doing a couple of competitions. I've got a Monga minute for you tonight. I've got to thank the fake head for sending me that, and he keeps changing his name, but he's sent me the Monga minute. It's just one girl tonight, but it's 2 minutes long and it's pretty good. Damon, Andrew, I'll tell you what, let's do it now, and I'll do it at the end because we've been going half an hour. So thanks to the fake head for sending this in. I had to dub the music over because it was copyrighted music, but I've edited it down. I think you'll like this. Yeah, I should have edited that down a bit. It's a bit long, that was, wasn't it? But again, thanks to Fake Ed for that. Right, M and G. Leo is much better. I can't stand Chang. Well, I never used to drink Chang because it used to be really strong. It was like 8.8% or 8.9%, no, 8.5%, and they've brought it right down now. It's only about 4.4, and it's pretty good. Right, okay. Isles of Sacking Dicks. That's a moo. Okay, clever. Clever username there. Okay, let's catch up on some of these. I'll tell you my story, my rip-off story in a minute. Dave, let me put this up. Dave Dakin. Good day, all my fellow mongers. Some Canadians are here in church now. Some are mongering. Peter, my name is pronounced Dakin. Okay, well, I'll forget by the next time, so please forgive me. You know, I don't get any of the names right. Pronounced Dakin. Okay, I'll try and remember. Means son of David. My dad was named Fred. That's a bit cryptic, that one. Rob, just seen it, Franco. Okay, George, you have to use a special towel you only use for your bum. I love using water. Yeah, but it doesn't always work. I'll tell you a little story there. If you're wondering what he's talking about, I went out and I had seafood yesterday on the beach, and I had the runs in the evening, you know, and you know, when you've been using the paper for a long time, you get a bit sore down there. And somebody said, well, you should use a water gun. And I said, yeah, that's great, but then you're wet and it's uncomfortable, and I don't like to use a towel unless there's something left on it. And but I'll tell you a true story, and this I witnessed this 2 times. I used to stay in a hotel at the end of Soi 4, the opposite end to Sukhumvit, called the Nanatai Suites. And what they used to do when people checked out, they'd send the maid up there and say, just a moment, and they'd check the room and they'd check the towels. And twice I was in reception, and I knew this staff. I was friends with them, been staying there 20 years. It's another reason why I'm not staying there. I haven't fallen out with anyone, but I'll get to that another time. And twice I was stood at reception, I've paid my bill or something, and they brought a plastic bag down. They pulled this towel out, and the woman started shouting at basically. She said, that's for cleaning your body, for drying your body. It's not for shining your shoes. The guy checking out, he's saying, it's not my towel. He cleans his shoes with a white towel, right? Bloody stains all over, heavy stains. He had to pay 300 baht, you know, so you got to be careful. You know, they check these things. Brian Street never had a bad T-shirt and colours don't fade. Yeah, I've learnt my lesson where to buy them now, Brian. Um, Paul Hoskin, I used to use pressure water for the deep clean. Have you ever, all joking aside, have you ever done that? Used one of those guns, and it was a really powerful one, and you go under there with it not on, and you pull the trigger, and it's like yelp, terrible. Right, Thai Billy Boy. Um, the electric toilets in Terminal 21 are good. You get your bum shower. What this has gone right. This stream has gone right downhill now, hasn't it? It's gone right downhill. Um, right, Alexander Wise, Buenos noches, Pedro. Okay, what language is that? Sounds like Mexican or something. I like that. Buenos noches, Pedro. Pedro. Yeah, okay. Right, Ricky. Um, I don't understand a bum gum. Wouldn't that just spray crap? Well, we're not going there anymore, Ricky. You know, we've done it. It's, you know, I had the runs last night. There's nothing else to say about it. Right, Thailand fan says, I'm guessing it was Trevor you met in the Chinese. You'll have to keep guessing. I will tell you eventually, but, you know, I couldn't believe it. Right, Jan, is the same is the same in Thailand as in some other Asian countries where if you live with a girl and then split up, not married, she can still get money after you break up? I don't know legally, but a lot of them do because they kind of con the guy they're living with. I don't know. I've never had a relationship with a Thai girl. If you don't know, I was married to a Korean lady for 30 years, and she was always with me. Um, right, the Gormless twit. Was she bitten by a mosquito? Why does she wiggle so much? Okay. Um, Matthew Cartwright, tissues. Well, yeah, I wish I had brought this up. Right, I'm going to tell you this story now, how I got ripped off. Let me just see if there's anything interesting here. Jeff say I joined the stream at the right time. Yeah, good stuff. Pup Master 1, I bet she's a cashier. Yeah, they all are, aren't they? Toby Price, Nomia Inspector, I think that would pass the test. Yeah, Black Bolt, she's been dancing for 2 weeks, I'm sure. You're talking about the manga 2 minutes it was. I don't think I'll do it again because it was quite long, wasn't it? I prefer the montages myself, but I thought, well, I'll use it because Fakehead sent it. Yeah, okay. So, you know, I mean, look, you've said, I think the sound of the manga minute and the cult video is too loud compared to Peter's voice. Well, one, I'm speaking quietly because I've got neighbors and it's 11:30 at night, so you can hear me quite clearly, I'm sure. And I don't, you know, I'm not a professional TV studio, so I don't measure the levels. But, you know, when I say, right, we're going to do a competition or we're going to do the manga minute, you know to get ready to turn the sound down then, don't you? Mike. Great editing. Looks like she's dancing to that music. Yeah. The reason I picked that music is because every video I put behind it, it looks like it belongs to that video. Really good. Right. Let me tell you a story. Okay. So what happened to me? How did I get ripped off? Right. So let's build this up. So, you know, I've been going 3 years now and I've made a lot of videos from England, 20 tips how not to get ripped off, things not to do in a go-go bar, you know, all these rip-off stories, things how you don't get ripped off. Well, I was actually ripped off on my first night in Pattaya. And but I had the last laugh. So let me tell you what happened in great detail. So I was out on my own. I only went out on the first night because I did edit in the second and third night. I made the most of the days. The days are really nice on the beach and stuff. So I was supposed to go. I won't name him, but there's a guy in Tree Town. He's got 4 bars. Okay, he had 3. He's just bought a 4th one. Nice guy, about my age. And he said, "When you come down to Pattaya, Peter, come and visit me in my bar." I thought, right, will do. Man of my word. I text him and, you know, we were arranging everything. And all of a sudden his girlfriend / partner got sick. So he texted me, said, "Look, Pete, I'm really, really sorry, but I'm going to have to take her home. And I'll probably take her to the hospital because she's got food poisoning or something. So I won't make it tonight." And he wasn't making an excuse. And I thought, fair enough, no problem. And I was already I'd already put the Old Spice down there, you know, and I was all spruced up and ready for a night of action, as it were. So I went out by myself, and on this particular night, I didn't bump into anybody. Sometimes I'll bump into a viewer, and, you know, we'll start having a few drinks here. I didn't bump into anyone, so I was Billy No Mates, so no problem. So I went to the which one was it now? The Billabong bar first. I had one in there, but I found that kind of like, I don't know. There's nothing. It's a great bar, but I was bored in there. So then I thought, right, well, I'll go up to King's because that's the infamous one of them all. And went up to King's, and again, it was like second rate up there. And I thought, well, I'm not paying. It's 170 baht for a small Leo in there because you're paying for what the scenery, as it were. And the scenery wasn't that great. So I thought, well, I'm not going to stay here. So I stuck my head and went out. Went to Lady Love. That was okay. I had a draft in there. And I thought, well, I'll have a couple more, then I'll go. I wasn't feeling it, I was out, but I wasn't getting the vibe. I was on my own. The drink wasn't going down that well. The girls were second rate, and I just wasn't. It was one of those nights I just couldn't get into it. But I didn't want to sit in my hotel room, so I thought, well, I'll go to one more. I won't name the go-go bar because, slander and all that here. So anyway, I went to this one last go-go bar, and I was sitting there, and where I was sitting, and don't start guessing which one it is because I definitely won't tell you, because I live in Thailand. I don't want any issues. I made that mistake when I was in Jumped In last time. Do you remember I named that bar and I had to delete the live stream? So I'm not doing it again. Anyway. So I went into this bar, and the stage is there in front of me, and the seats are kind of like sofas as they are, but the one I was sitting on was near the front. So you got the bar, you got the stage, you got the bar stools, you got the walkway where the waitresses walk and serve the drinks, and then you got the sofas. Well, the particular sofa I was on was just a small sofa, room for two people. So you got a little table like that, me, and an empty seat. So I had my first one there and thought, yeah, the atmosphere's nice, the music's okay. It wasn't too loud, the music was quite nice. And I thought, I'll have another one, ordered another one. And then this Italian guy come in and he said, anyone sitting here? Do you mind if I sit? I said, no, have a seat. We got talking together, we had a beer. He was a nice guy, he didn't know much about Thailand. Give him a few tips before he left. Not that I'm in a position to give tips because I got ripped off. And he went off anyway. So what it was, there was nothing special to look at in there, but it was a nice atmosphere, and it started to feel like, yeah, okay, this is nice. I'm out. I'm having a few beers. It was getting near midnight, and I thought, okay, I'll have a couple more in here because no point in moving round every bar and having one beer and being disappointed. It was quite a nice bar. I was comfortable, and I thought, yeah, this is nice. I'll just stay here and continue drinking, right? So that's where we are so far. So I don't buy ladies' drinks as a rule. I don't chat up girls. I'm still married, and technically, and I don't take girls back to the hotel, really. I look at the temples in the day, Anyway, so I'm sitting there by myself. I'd had a few beers. So this girl comes, and she must have been 45 if she was a day. She wasn't, and she was very plain looking, okay? Nothing to look at. You wouldn't turn your head, okay? She was just not even average, So she came along, she sat down, she didn't say a word to me. Because I thought, well, here we go, I'm going to ignore her, and she sat down, I looked that way away, so I was to give her a hint, I'm not interested. Anyway, sat there, I caught her, just happened to catch her, and she smiled at me, but kind of sincerely and quite nicely, and she didn't ask me, what's your name, where you come from, normal bullshit. She just smiled, and she looked pleasant enough, and after 5 minutes, she was just sitting down, basically, right, waiting to see if anything happened with me. So I looked at her and I said, "Oh, you're not dance or something." I can't remember what I said. And you could tell she's not the sort of girl who's going to be guys are going to be chasing all night. She's going to get lots of drinks. Okay, so now the story gets really interesting. Let's have another one of these before I get into it. So I look at her and I think it must be a hard. The white knight kicked in to me. I don't normally get the white knight syndrome, but I looked at her, I thought it must be really a shit job, up on that stage every night, talking to drunks, and it's very hard. And I thought I'll buy her a drink. Sorry, I said, would you like a drink? And she says, yeah, oh yeah, and a face lit up, And I really, honestly, you might not believe this, hand on heart, I wasn't interested. I just thought I'll buy her a drink. White knight, okay. So I said, all right, one drink. I'm not buying you tequila and black Red Bull and none of this. I said, what you drink? What is it you're actually going to bring? She says, oh, I want to drink Lipo, good for health. I thought, well, fair enough. That's very honest of you. I said, okay, no problem. She goes off and she comes back with this glass. It looks like tea without milk in. Apparently it's Lipo. I've never drank it. Sounds disgusting. Anyway, she comes down, puts it on the table, does a choddy, choddy grab, like this, puts it on the table, and she says, I go dance now. I was like raging, really raging. I says, no. I said, because she knew, I know they're there to make money, right? But they take the piss, they really do. And it's like, if she'd have said to me, look, when I said, do you want to drink? If she'd have said, well, I'm going to dance in a few seconds, I don't want to, which she wouldn't know. I'm just giving you an example, right? If she'd have said to me, well, I'm going to go and dance, I'd have said, well, let me get you it anyway, and you can have it when you sit down, when you come off the stage in 20 minutes. But it was a cunning way she did it. She said, she just put it down. I go, Daz, and I got really, really like, I always say, don't get into a situation, walk away, just accept it. And I thought, no, I'm not having this. I wasn't upset. I was pissed off that I got caught out. So anyway, she goes off on stage, and as she's walking off, I says, right, you can take this off, and she kind of ignored me. So I called the waitress over, and I said, this drink, take it off the bill, I not buy. And she's looking kind of confused, and, oh, what do I do, what do I do? So I thought, right, well, I'm going to make a point of this. So, and I always say walk away, don't I? But bloody hell. So I picked this drink up, and I walked over to the bar, and I put it down. I says, she's not having the ladies' drink. She's dancing. Okay. I said, take it off my bill. I'm not paying it. So then the mama san comes along, because they're all the waitresses, and they know, okay, this guy's getting upset now, and it starts to get a bit of an atmosphere in the bar when somebody starts. You get a farang who starts kicking off or getting a bit upset. There's a bit of atmosphere in there, isn't there? But I knew what I was doing, and I knew how I could settle it out because of experience, right? So mama san come over, good English, typical hardcore mama san, right? And I hadn't said hello to her or anything. She came over. She said, "Oh, what happened?" Told her the story that I've just told you in a condensed version. I said, take it off the bill. I'm not paying it. And she said, oh, no, cannot. I said, and then I didn't shout. I got really serious. I took up my Thai driving license. I said, look, I'm not a tourist. I live here. I know people, okay? And I do know people. If I got in the shit, I really had got in locked up or something. I've got phone numbers. I can phone up and get out of it, right? Unless I murder somebody. Anyway, so she's there trying it on. Oh no, cannot. And I said, listen, take this off the bill. I'm not paying it. And she's trying, she's, oh no, she take a drink. And I said, listen, I'm telling you now, I said, I'm not paying it. I said, look, you can call the police. I'll go to the police station and I'll pay 10,000 baht, but I'm not paying for this drink. And I got really serious, right? And I says, you've been in the business a long time. You know when someone's serious, okay? I'm not here on holiday. I live here. I live in Bangkok. There's my driving license, okay? You know that I'm not a tourist. I says, I'm not paying this drink. I'm not paying it, okay? Police boxes outside, go and get them. I don't care. If they take me and lock me up and they say I've got to pay 10,000 to get out, I'll pay it. But I'm not paying for that drink. She knew it was serious then, right? So then she says, oh, where the drink? I said, I took it back. So she goes up to the stage, talks to the girl, takes a ticket off her for the drink. So she's lost the drink, right? It's not about the money, guys. I got money, right? I had 10,000 baht in my pocket, okay? It's a principle, the way she did it. So she takes a ticket off the girl, brings back my bill. I look at it and it's gone. Her drink's gone. It's off. So then 5 minutes goes by. I let the dust settle, okay? Because I know what's going to happen. There's an atmosphere now. Like this guy's a bit of a cheap Charlie, or this guy's a bit of a troublemaker, or this guy. You've stood out from the crowd, then, haven't you? And I don't want to leave like that. So what I did, let it settle down 5 minutes. Carried on drinking. Called the mama san over. Uh, I said, I gave her 200 baht, right? And you're going to think I'm a bit stupid because I actually lost more money than I would have done from the drink, but it was down to principle, okay? So I gave her the 200 baht, and she was all smiles, and right, because I suddenly gave her money. So I said to her, do you understand what just happened? Why I'm upset? And she said, yeah, but she tried to make money, she working and all this. I said, I don't care. I said, if she wants to make money, she dances, comes back, and I buy her a drink. I said, you don't do like that, okay? So she says, yeah, okay, I understand. But then she was all smiles and you okay and everything like this. Well, there's three waitresses there. They're kind of looking like this, right? So I called them over one by one and I give them all 100 baht. So actually, I saved 170 baht on the ladies' drink, but I lost 500 baht by giving them tips. But what that did, it sent a message. I'm not a mug. That girl didn't get the money for the drink, okay? And I can go in there another time and they'll be all smiles because they all got paid, they all got tipped, right? And that's the way I did it. Okay, now you've got your own opinion on how you might do things, and most of the time I'd say, look, don't make a big issue of it, just pay it and walk out, and that's what I would normally do. But I don't know what it was. It was just something. It was like something pushed a button. It was like I just went into a kind of silent rage, and I thought, no, I ain't having this, right? Anyway, who did I meet? This is all tied into the story, right? So the next day I went to Jomtien Beach, forgot all about it. Somebody had said to me, Kung's on the crossroads. So Soy Bacau, where Subway is. So if you come out of Subway and you cross over, Kung's is on the right, famous for breakfast. So they do brilliant breakfast. You can choose from 6 English sausages, right? And I will come back into the chat in a minute. So and this is all tied into the girl story. So I always go to Kung's for breakfast because it's a great breakfast, and I bump into people who say hi, a lot of nice guys there and everything. And so somebody had said to me, they do good Chinese food here in Kung's. And I was like, really? I thought it was just the breakfast because you can't get a table in the breakfast. You know, I ended up the other day saying, do you mind if I sit here? There's no tables. And so yeah, the guy said to me, I was sitting on the table and he said, oh, they've got a great Chinese menu. And I said, how do you mean Chinese? What style? He said, the same as you get in England. You know, when you order a Chinese. And I'm like, really? And I've been here 5 months now. And I thought, well, I'll fancy that. So when I was in Jumpton, I thought, well, I'll go to Kung's and I'll try the Chinese. And as it happens, I had the chicken curry with fried rice. And it was nice. And it cost me like 195 baht. Bargain and really tasty. Anyway, when I went in there, it was completely empty. No one in there. There was 4 or 5 people because you've got a seating area outside on I forget what that road's called, just off Soy Bacau, and inside you've got the air conditioned part, which I prefer. You know, so I'm sitting in there. There's nobody there. I'm just looking at comments on my phone. Who walks in to pick up a takeaway? Trevor, buzzing pattaya. He walks in. I looked at him from behind. I thought, is that him? Anyway, I calls him. He comes over. He's ordered a takeaway to take home, right? Because he's done a bar crawl or something. And he sat down with me. I was eating. And I told him the story I've just told you because I wanted to say, well, was I a bit of an idiot? Was I a prick? Did I cause unnecessary problems? And Trevor said to me, he says, they're ruining it for everybody. He says, they're just taking the piss. You know, guys are coming out here. They're trying to rake in the money, but they're doing it in a bad way and they're ruining it. You know, so that made me feel a little bit better that I wasn't so much as a troublemaker as I thought. But I thought I'd share that with you. It's not very often I offer somebody a drink. And so the moral of that story, guys, when you go into a go-go bar and you want to offer a lady a drink, if you're going to do it, just say, oh, how long until you dance? And if she says, oh, I go 1 minute, then say, okay, when you come back, I wait for you. I'll have a drink with you when you come back. If she said, oh, I just come, I got 15 minutes, then no problem. But, you know, and that's, you know, because I don't buy ladies drinks, I just didn't think about that, but you should, right? Okay, let's get back into the comments. I'm getting angry just thinking about it now, you know. Richard Woolley, I'm going to Kung's when I'm there next. It's meant to be good food. No, it's really good. I had breakfast there 3 mornings. You get a choice of 3 breakfasts. Get the middle one. It's 2 sausages, any kind, 3 bacon, scrambled egg, orange juice, coffee. Fantastic. I try the Chinese one night. Clive, I know nobody don't get out much. All right. Welsh 32, Peter Cray, Thailand fan. Boom. I thought it would be Trevor. Yeah, you got that wrong. Well done to you. Let me just turn this down. How many we got in? Over 300 now. Good. Yeah. What else? David. Peter, how did you know the singer wasn't coming back to sit with you to finish your drink? The singer? You mean the dancer? It's not the point of whether she was coming back or not. She didn't know I was going to stay there, right? I mean, I wasn't interested in it at all. I just bought her a drink, white knight syndrome. But what you're saying is, well, how did, you know, she went to dance, but she could have come back and sat with you. Well, how did she know I was going to stay there for 20 minutes and wait for her? She didn't, right? So it's just not the right way to do it. Okay, yeah, that's soy. Yeah, that's it. Soy Lenki. Soy Lenki. Dirty Harry. She tried it. Laugh out loud. But messed with the wrong guy. Good on you, Peter. Yeah, I mean, some people will say it was very childish and I made a big scene out of nothing. But it just pissed me off, really. Let's change the subject 'cause I'm getting a bit angry thinking about it. Right, Paul Hoskins. I always tell the girls to take it all, not just the tip. Bloody hell, Paul. Toby Price. Peter, if you're watching, Peter, I had lunch with. We had a little joke about these jokes, didn't we? That's got to be like one of the within the top 10 of bad jokes. Toby Price. I know people. Come on. Welsh 32, I thought my maths was bad. Clive, I proper kick off, laugh out loud, take on the cops, everything. No, but the thing is, they won't call the cops. But for one, a bar girl ripping a punter off on a, you know, when they call the cops, it's not like, you know, they can keep calling the cops and the cops will always take their side. Nowadays, the cops want to know what the story is, and you know, they will do it properly. You know, and the bars don't want the cops in on this sort of thing. So if you stand your ground, I mean, you're unlucky if they do take you. If you feel you've done nothing wrong, I won't. No, I'm not going to name. I've got another story that's similar, but it was big money with a friend of mine. But I'm not going to tell it because it was. I don't want to, you know, tell you who it was. Yeah, Carefree 42 says I wouldn't get wound up over 43. I didn't get wound up over £3. I got wound up with the way somebody tried to rip me off. That's what it was. It could have been £1. I would have done the same thing. Okay. Yeah, Leeds. I would have done the same thing. Welsh 32, they are all smiles, another 500 baht. Yeah, that's fine. You know, it made me feel better anyway. Damon Peter, she didn't ask you for a drink. You offered. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, my point is, Damon, I said to her, would you like a drink? She could have said, yeah, okay, but I go dance in 1 minute. Okay, that would have been honest way to do it. Not anyway, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Right, thank you for the super chat. This is Richard Pollack. Good evening, Peter. Have a couple of beers on me. Yeah, cheers. I'll go and buy her a ladies drink, shall I? Innovations. I applaud your approach. There's nothing worse than letting someone get away with internal deceit, international deceit. It's not about the money. It's about the proper way to interact with each other. Absolutely. Um, Nomi Eye Inspector says, first drink I'm negotiating long time. Okay. Strange story. Why would she try that when she could just do her job? My regular bar was a little dodgy, but the girls were always straight. Well, you'll find in the bars they behave themselves a lot better than in the go-go bars. The go-go bars are hardcore, you know. They just want to extract as much money out of people as they can in the shortest amount of time. Right, Martin Bludston, laugh out loud. You naughty boy, Peter. You always say it's not worth the hassle for a few quid. Yeah, I know. But I'm only human, and it was just one of those things. It just got me. But I only did it because I knew I could come out. I could come out on the right side of it, if that makes sense. Richard Woolley, I'm going to Kung's when I'm next there. It's meant to be very good. Yeah, okay. Nomi Inspector. It's about principle. Unfortunately, you don't get that in Thailand. No, but you know what makes me laugh is money just smooths over everything. Those three waitresses and the mamasan were probably looking at me with daggers, lightning eyes, like wishing the ground had opened up and swallow me. But as soon as the cash comes out, I'm the guy. I'm the good guy all of a sudden. Right, Bernie, nice to hear from you. Peter, well handled at the Gogo Bar. The same thing happened to me at well, I won't name the Gogo Bar in Pattaya. I immediately paid and walked out, and I was extremely well known there. It does get to you, and I've spoken to guys before. I don't want to get into a real negative stream, but I'll just finish off on this point, okay? I've spoken to guys who this has happened to, and most of them they have walked out and just thought, "Oh, sorry, it's a ladies' drink." But what really upsets most of the guys is when they're regulars and they look after that bar. So in other words, they're on vacation, they go to a particular bar that they like. It might have 6 girls in, and that's all. And every night they go there, they'll buy 1 round of shots for all the girls in the bar. They know the bar owner, they feel comfortable in there. They think, yeah, these are my friends. Not friends, but you know what I mean. It means this bar means more to me than just walking to a strange bar. And they've been there a week, and then one night they go in there and somebody tries to rip them off, and that really hurts a lot of guys, because they are there to make money. We all know what the story is, but when you've been there for a week and you've been looking after them and buying them all around the drinks, and you think you're friends with the bar owner, and you're kind of taking care of that bar. When you go in there, you're a good customer, in other words. And when they try to rip you off, it just makes you feel like shit, doesn't it? Right, Martin Ryder, you definitely got your own back by paying the 500 baht bill. Okay, right. Do you want to hear the other story about my friend? Because he speaks fluent Thai and he took it further than me. Let me know, because it was a long story. If enough guys say they want to hear it, I'll read it. I'll tell you what happened, because I was with him. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but it's someone I know. What should we do now? This is funny. Look at this. Before I put this on, I'll just say I did this about a year ago, and someone wrote to me and said, "Oh, Peter, you're taking the mickey out of." I'm not. It's just a fun bit. It's just a funny video. I couldn't care less. Right? Watch this.
What should we do then?
Crisps.
More food?
Ben! Alright, Bubs. Do me a favour. Another packet of discos.
Yeah.
The big bag of 10.
Yeah.
That's the bag I want. Don't bring me a little individual bag. Bring me the big bag, babes.
Okay.
Business as usual.
This one.
That's the very fellow. Yeah, that's what we have. And that's where they'll stay. Before they're gone.
What, you're going to eat all them?
Normally, as a rule, yeah.
Business as usual. Jesus Christ. And I'm not even religious. Okay, let's have a look. Paul Hoskins, she's my kind of girl. I believe you, Paul. I reckon she probably is. Mike Braithwaite, laugh at Ryan Real. Dick Snormus Spinner. Paul Hoskins. Tony Watson. Oh yes, I want to hear it. Let's hear the story. Lisa Dell. Yeah, okay. Let's hear the story. Yeah, I will tell you that story. Now, it isn't, and I mean this, it isn't somebody who I regularly talk about as a friend. It's a friend who I know here, but I never really mention him on a stream because you wouldn't know him. He just works here, okay? But he's been here a long time. He speaks Thai. He works for an international company, and when I'm here, I go out with him sometimes. And this actually happened to him. Right. So what I'll do, I'll tell you this story because you want to hear it, and then we'll do a competition. And just before we get into the competition, let me just put this up again. I did ask everyone because somebody wrote and said competitions are getting boring. Some people still like them, so I put a poll out there, and this is the results. So you can see the 30% you can't really count because they said they don't really care either way, and the people who said scrap the competition were only 24%. So we'll keep them, but I'll get rid of the Hooters competition because that is old hat now. The Ladyboy and the Spot the Thai Girl, I'll carry on doing them. They don't take much. Okay, Nick, let's hear the story. Okay, so let me set the scene. Okay, so the guy I go drinking with, he's quite high up in a company, okay? He gets a very, very good salary. When he goes out, he's not checking the bill every drink, When he goes into a bar, he's Mr. Flash, He's not loud, but he spends, he'll buy, he likes the smaller bars in Soy Cowboy. Again, I'm not going to name the bar, but I'm not talking about big places like Longan or Tilak or Baccarat, the smaller bars. Okay, so this guy's on a good wedge, good money, and when he goes in, he likes to go into these little bars, and they're normally empty, and there's 3 or 4 skanky girls in there, but he loves that, and he buys them all drinks. And I've been in there, and I've been in with him, and he's within 2.5 hours he spent 25,000 baht, £500, $600. He doesn't care. He doesn't go out that often, so when he goes out, he just wants to have fun. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the bar that I can't mention here. Anyway, so we met this guy. Where was he from? He was from Canada. Was he from Canada? He spoke French, but he wasn't from France. Must have been Canadian, yeah. So we were stopped at the traffic lights on Soy Cowboy. They take on Asok. They take forever. When you're walking along Sukhumvit and you want to go to Cowboy, you're standing at the traffic lights at a very busy junction. It's like it just takes all night for the bloody lights to change. Anyway, this guy's standing, younger than us. He must have been about 30. Looked like the girls would find him quite attractive. He was 30, young, slim, and he's looking around. He looks a bit lost. And I said to him, where are you off to then? And he said, it's my first time to Thailand. I've been reading about this. I've been watching videos about this place called Soy Cowboy, but I'm not sure where it is. So I said, well, we're going. We're old hands. Why don't you come along with us? We'll show you around. So he's like, really? And I said, yeah, come with us. Anyway, so he was a nice guy. We took him into Crazy House and Baccarat and all the normal haunts, Anyway, my friend, who will remain nameless, we went into another bar, one of his kind of bars, okay? So they're not really my kind of bars. I was just drinking beer and talking to the Canadian guy, but my friend, Mr. Big, he was like ladies' drinks over and over again. But he knows what he should be spending. So to cut to the chase, okay? So my bill was 1,000 baht. The Italian guy's was, I think, 11. His was 1,200 baht. He only had 2 beers and got 1,200 baht bill. I think they're a real rip-off bar, right? So he said to me, I only had 2 beers. He said, it's 1,200 baht. And I says, this is Thailand. I says, just don't come here again, right? Anyway, our friend, he had a bill. And on this particular night, he hadn't done a load of ladies' drinks. I think he'd had 2 drinks like we had. And I think he was talking to one girl and he bought her a drink. His bill should be around 1,400 baht. Now, this guy speaks fluent Thai, right? So I looked at his bill pot. We've got ours, and I've looked at it. Okay, mine's about 1,000. Canadian guys is about 1,200. I look at my friend's bill pot, and he hasn't bought loads of ladies' drinks. He's just talking to one girl, and I think he's bought 2 drinks, right? And I'm looking at it, and the bills are like this. It's like War and Peace. So I tapped him on the shoulder, and I says, have you had all them drinks? I said, look at the pile of them bills in there. So he suddenly wakes up because this is a guy who falls asleep when he's had a few drinks in a bar. So he's actually he's one of these. He's like this, and he's not really noticing what's going on. But when I tapped him, I said, have you had all these? He suddenly springs into action. He looks, he starts counting these bills. Well, the bill came to something like 5,000-6,000 baht, and he probably spent 1,500 baht. Anyway, we paid ours. He said, right. He said, I'm going to give you 3 in Thai. So I'm going to give you 3,000 baht. And that's it, to the Mama-san. And apparently she agreed so he gave her the 3,000 baht. We're walking down Soy Cowboy. The manager of the bar, female, and one of her Ladyboy, who's a big strapping guy, come running down Soy Cowboy. We're nearly at the end because we're actually leaving. We're going to get a taxi, right? You know where the police is at the end, not 23 and the other end. So we're nearly at the end. She comes running down, shaking. You left without paying your bill. Your bill's 5.5. And he said, no. He said, I've just spoke to the mama son. He said, look, he says, you know you ripped me off. I know you ripped me off. They know you ripped me off. I'm not giving you any more money. This is in Thai, right? And English. So she says, no, you have to pay. You have to pay. This is your bill. Same as me. He said, I'm not paying it. So it went on like that for a little while. So there's a policeman at the end of the road. So because he speaks Thai, he's not worried. He knows the system, right? So he says, okay, we go police. So he goes to the police and they start talking again. But the police doesn't get involved. He's just stood there looking down. He's an old guy. They probably put him on cowboy just to kind of retire him off. He sits there every night, basically. And he doesn't say a word, this cop. So the cop's there. I'm here. My friend's in front. And the same thing over and over. And she wouldn't let it go. She's like, no, you have to pay your bill. And same thing. He says, look, you in Thai, because he told me afterwards, he said, you know you ripped me off. I know you ripped me off. They know you ripped me off. I'm not paying any more money, right? And this was in front of the policeman, right, in uniform. And she wouldn't let it go. So then he says, right, no problem. You want to take it further? Let's go down to Lumpini police station now. He told her this, right? He said, come on, let's go, if you're so certain. At that point, she says, up to you. Typical, right? And she walks back to her bar, and it just shows you, they knew what they were doing, because if he really had that amount of drinks, there's no way she would have said up to you and gone off. You know what I mean? So you've got to be really, really careful. It won't happen to you guys, because when you're there, as the bills come, you'll check every drink you have. You'll check and say, yeah, I had one, because they accumulate. Some of the bars still do the old way, where they'll put a single bill. You have a drink, they bring a bill and put it in a pot. You have another drink, they bring another bill and put it in a pot. But a lot of the bars now, especially the bigger bars, they've gone all modern. So what happens is you have a bill, you order a drink, they take that bill back to the cashier, that one gets cancelled, they bring you a new one, so it shows the 2 beers, and then the same thing, and you've always only got one bill, so you've got to check it. But it's just unbelievable. Right, I'm way behind in the comments now. So look, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's do a competition, right? The first one of 2. All those guys who said it's boring, you can go make a cup of tea or something. We're going to do. Right, this one is right. There's 8 ladies from around Southeast Asia. Which one is Thai? Oh, hang on. Have I got the wrong one? Yeah, I need to put the wrong one up there again. Do you remember? There we go. Right, okay, and it just proves a lot of people are still into the competitions, because there's lots of answers here. Right, let me go right up to the top here. Where are we? Right, and I'll go back to the comments on the stories I just told later. So Richard Woolley, no. Yoz Travels, how you doing, Steve? You got it? Yeah, well done to you. Martin Ryder, no. Matthew Cartwright, no. Alec Waters, no. Thomas Algero, no. Dutch Farang, no. Danish Bacon, no. Sheila Semi-Farang, no. Rumbo, no. Simon Goodison, is it? No. Brian Street, yeah, well done, Brian. You always get it wrong. You got it right this week. Well done. No Name, yes, well done. I think you guys got it right. Yeah, you got it right. Robert Perusa, no. Tron Roger, no. HHD, no. Jeff Say, no. George, you got it right. Well done. M&G, yes, you got it right. Sheila, you've changed your answer and it's still wrong. Or would you say that before? No, same answer. Franco, no. Clive, no. Mr. Balding, good name, no. Thomas Aljo, no. David, you got it right, well done. David Stewart, no. Clive, no. Carefree 42, no. Where are we? Alfretta Jim, no. I'm just reading somebody's comment there. Web to ride. Why are started paying every drink when served? The new all one bill is scamming several. Yeah, fair enough. The Gormless Twit, no. Steve Gibson, no. Alex Curtin, yeah, you got it right. Paul Scarth, yeah, how you doing? You got it right. Charles Saunders, no. Michael DiCaprio, no. Nick S, no. Dick Enormous, no. I love that name. Thomas, no. Let's get some that we haven't said yet. Ty Billy Boy, no. Anesh Patel, no. Matthew Alcorn, yes. Toby Price, no. Nomia Inspector, yes. Boohoo, yes. Ricardo, no. Right, I'm just going to read out the right answers now because there's still a lot coming in. Okay, so if you don't hear your name, you haven't got it right. Damon, you got it right. Well done. Good. You got it right for once, Damon. Gary G, yes, you got it right. Who else? Don 1560. Well done to you. Anybody else? Marvin Northhouse, you got it right. Roger, you got it right. Clive, you always get it right towards the end. Very suspicious of that of you, Clive. Taxi Talal, yes. A then no. I said I wouldn't read any no's, didn't I? Who else? Right, I think that's it. Clive, you've got about 15 answers on there. Okay, right. Massive Coconuts, yeah. Well done to you. Anybody else? Glenn, you got it right. Okay, that's it. Let's put you out your misery and put the answers up. There you go. Well done to all you guys who got it right. Ladyboy competition coming up towards the end. Right, I've got a clip here that I'd actually filed away in the never to be shown folder again because I found it extremely funny. I showed it a year ago and I showed it again on here about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I didn't want to overdo it, but I put it away and I thought, right, that's that one done. I shan't be shown that one again. I've had so many people, and I'm not exaggerating here, I've had at least 10 to 20 people write to me and say, look, that clip's really good. I want to show it to my friend. I want to show it to my dad. Where can I get it from? Can you give me the link? And I honestly can't remember because I got it over a year ago. Now, you'll recognize this. It is funny. You'll recognize it. And as I say, I wasn't going to play it again, but to those guys who they really want to show it to their friends, you'll be able to go back on this and maybe download the stream and cut it out or whatever. Okay, so you know what this is, but I won't play it again. I'm going to play it once for the guys who've sent me emails requesting it.
The reverse angle showed that was a good call for offside.
Oh, my word, I think we've got extra man on the pitch.
Can't imagine he'll get too far, though.
I don't know, so far he's giving the police nothing but a good look at his backside. I don't know if this is a cry for help, but it's certainly got my attention. Oh dear, that's an image going to stay with me for a very long time.
Scorched onto my retina.
I do hope he's not heading for the royal box. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Oh, we have contact.
Looks like he has more souvenirs for the crowd.
I think he's got the shoes to thank.
A minute ago they were all chanting who had all the pies. I think there's your answer.
I mean, that is a good clip, isn't it? I shan't show it again, but to the guys who were requesting it, they are regulars on here. I hope that's sufficed. You can download it later. Okay, let's talk about a few things that are going on in Thailand. Not very much at the moment. You know about the 45-day tourist visa. I think they've extended it, haven't they? The little bit of sad news. There was a Swedish man near the airport. He'd met this girl online. He's 50. She was 27, and this was just last week sometime. It was a while, not very long ago. So he'd met this girl on something like Thai Friendly. She lived near the airport, 27. They actually fell for each other, and he was on his motorbike and he was going to visit her for the first time, and somehow his motorbike came off the road and went into a ditch, and he got killed. And the way he got killed was because, you know, with those ditches, grass ditch, you think, well, if your motorbike goes down, you're not going to get killed, maybe injured. But what it is, he hit one of these concrete drainage posts that come out the end of the ditch, so he'd gone in and it snapped his neck. So guys, if you ride a motorcycle, be really, really careful. The other big news really is just about the COVID cases coming right down now. There was something like, I won't give you the numbers because I don't want to flick from screen to screen, because if you remember on the laptop, what it does, it brings in interference. That when I'm at home, I've got a couple of screens, I can just read it. So I've just made some notes, but basically even though more tourists are coming into Thailand, the COVID numbers are going right down now. I think the number I read was something like from 900 cases to about 600 cases, with only 44 deaths, and they would have had underlying issues. And then there was another, this you might find this one interesting. There was, you know, that there's an island called I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Koh Tao, or Koh Tao, spelled Tao. There were a couple of backpackers murdered on that island a few years back, a young guy and a young girl. And it's a very small island with a tight-knit community, but they have a lot of tourists go there, and there's been quite a few supposedly suicides and murders and stuff like that, and it's got the nickname Death Island, you know. Well, just last week there's a sudden death of a UK dive instructor there, and it was an apparent suicide again, so we don't know what's going on there, but that's a bits of news I picked up. But as I said to you last week, if you're really interested in the latest news in Thailand, watch TNT, Tim Newton's YouTube channel. It's pretty good. He's now gone away from the Tiger. He's up to about 18,000 subscribers. I'm subscribed, and if you want the latest news, that's a good source of news. And of course, you've got all the online periodicals like the Bangkok Post and the Examiner, and there's lots of them out there. Okay, Mr. Tom. Hey Peter, hope you're well. I wanted to ask about a visa. I'm doing 9 weeks. Can I go with a 45-day one, then get the next one off them? Yeah, that's quite a difficult one, because let's assume they are carrying on with the 45 days. Because I don't really look at a lot of the news myself, but I heard that they would extend it. So let's just presume that you are going to get 45 days when you come in. So when you extend it, I'm not sure if they extend it 30 days or 45 days. If they extend it another 45 days, which I've got a feeling they don't, because I had this issue when I went for my long-term visa. So what's that? 45 days is it's about 6 weeks, and then if they did, you get another 30 days at least. So what's that? That's another 4 weeks or 6 weeks. 10 weeks, so you'll be fine. Yeah, you come in with 45 days and you can extend it for 30 days. Okay, I won't get into how to extend it. There's lots of ways to do it, but you can look it up online. If you write to me, I can give you some information as well. And don't forget, guys, if there's any information you want about Thailand, you want to have a discussion with me one-on-one, I don't give out free information anymore, because it just takes up so much of my time. I mean, if somebody sends me an email and says, you know, where's the bus station, I'll say, yeah, Egamai, get the train from Nana. No, that's not a problem. But I get guys send me a list, you know, they'll say, oh, I'm coming into town. What hotel would you recommend? What restaurant would you recommend? Where would you recommend to go out on my first night? What date? And so I ain't got time to answer all them. I literally get hundreds of emails every month, and I try to answer what I can. But I still offer this one-on-one consultancy for a very small fee. You can have half an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours one-on-one. You can either meet me here if you're in Thailand, but if you're not in Thailand, we'll do it. You don't have to download any software. I've got encrypted private software. I send you a link, you just click it and you'll come into a private stream with me. It's totally private, encrypted, nobody will see it, and you can ask me, we can have a discussion. I've done it with a lot of people. I've got a guy on Wednesday coming back. I've already done an hour with him, and he wants to ask me some more questions. So that's available if you want, you know, if you want to ask me direct questions. And just a quick reminder, if you missed the live stream that I did on Jomtien Beach, I'm going with my insurance now. I'm going to take out insurance here in Thailand. I've done all my research. I had a meeting with them on Thursday. So once I get this in place, I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to go through all the details of how old you need to be, what they cover, why I've gone with them, what other companies I've looked at. A lot of people ask me about health insurance. I think that'll be a really good video because this guy's done it already, but they tend to be a bit older now. You know, with healthcare plans, they change very, very frequently. You know, and I'll tell you why. The most important thing that you must always do when you take out a health plan. I asked a guy, what's the biggest reason why a health insurance, if somebody puts a claim in, it's turned down? And you won't believe what he told me. Okay, so make sure you watch that video. Right. Yeah, put that up there. That's the island. Yeah. Okay, Mortimer Duke. What a great name. Yeah. That wasn't a suicide, was it? Definitely not. Okay, let me go to the latest comments. I'll work backwards because otherwise I'll get so far behind. Thomas Aljo, I would pay for the advice. How much? There's a link on my website. I've actually got a. Let me send you a link. I've actually got a website where you can have a look. Loads. This link will take you straight to the actual page. Okay, so right, let me close that. Let me just put it in here for you. Great. Okay, so that's a link there. I don't think you can click on that because it's not in the description, but you can go back on this later and you can write that down. That gives you the prices, what we do, how I go about helping you out, that sort of thing. Okay, right. Soy Dog, just on the 45-day entry to get the 30 days extra. Right, let me put that up. Where are we? To the guy who was asking about the visas, right? Just on the 45-day entry to get the 30-day extra, just go to immigration with your passport and let them know where you're staying, hotel name, and cost 2,000 baht. Took me 30 minutes wait time only. The other bit of advice I'd give you, if you don't want to hang around, if it really took you 30 minutes, you were very, very lucky, because I've heard stories of people being in immigration for up to 6 hours. You know, the other thing you can do is if you go to Jomtien, they've got agents there. It's about 5,500 baht, but you just give them your passport, go back the next day, and it's done. You don't have to waste your time. You know, it depends how much you want to save. 3,000 baht. Bamboo. Peter, you should create a YouTube playlist of your recommended places that you have reviewed, so you could direct people who are asking the same questions over and over. Yeah, that's you see, when you plan a business, you do things like that. You do it all properly, don't you? But don't forget, YouTube for me, I didn't know it was going to grow to what it is. I've got over 45,000 subscribers now. I've just overtaken a popular YouTuber who started a year before me. So I'm doing something right. But when I started, I just put out videos there. In reality, what I should have done is have a spreadsheet. Somebody wrote to me the other day and said, can you tell me what volume the story is of the Australian teacher who met a girl and took her back to Australia, and it all worked out? And I said, I haven't got a clue, you know, because each set of stories has got between 2 and 8 stories, depending on how long they are. I do them, I upload them, and that's it. I forget about them. They're on the channel. But to ask me where is it, what I should have done, it's too late now, but what I should have done is keep a record. Yeah, but I'll try and come up with something, because yeah, like you say, people ask the same questions over and over. Right, no name says hold there, immigration, big L for me. Okay. Mint. Okay, I'll presume Mint. I'll presume you're Sheila's girlfriend there, hiding your face. Very nice, one eye and hair anyway. Hi, Peter. Hand pink waving, hand pink waving. Okay, good to see you in the stream. It was a shame what happened to Sheila. Her grandmother was a bit taken ill and she had to go back. I was hoping to do a live stream with Sheila and perhaps you as well. You know, you could wear a mask if you wanted to, obviously living here, but nice to have you in the stream. Sheila was here earlier. I'm sure she's still here, but thanks for saying hi. Right, Steve again, Yost Travels. Depends what immigration office you use. A pattaya one, people are waiting 8 hours. Okay, that's a long time. So it's a no-brainer, isn't it? If it's going to cost you, I think the exact price is 1,900, because I used to get it done at Blueport in Hua Hin. It's a lot easier there. It was very quick there. But, you know, when I'm in Thailand, if I wanted to extend, I'll just give it to an agent. I'll take it to Lana, Farang Travels. You know, I made the video, just past the Holiday Inn, turn left and then right. I don't know why I gave you directions, but anyway, she's good, and you pay her, I think it's 5,500 baht. But the thing is, you go to her office, give you your passport, go and have a Kong's breakfast, forget about it, go back the next day after Kong's breakfast again and pick up your passport. It's done. It's like about £75. Bob, thank you for that. That's a nice compliment. It makes a change when people actually say they like your channel and they don't give you shit. people say to me, at the beginning of the story, sometimes what I do is, like the guy who complained about my glasses, because once I've ordered 2 sets now, but they're kind of the wonky, people thought I had one ear higher than the other, but you see how they slant down. One guy says, your glasses really annoy me, you should get them fixed. And when I tell the story, sometimes I'll make that a little story. I'll say, there's a guy wrote in, complained about my glasses, and people will make a joke of it and they say, watch out, he'll probably make sure you comb your hair. He'll complain about that. But the reason, some people, they'll say, oh, we don't want to hear these stories. Just go into the stories. The reason I tell people about them is because I just think they're really, really weird things to complain about. I mean, if you listen to the stories, you either watch it and you're interested in the story, but I think most people, what they do, they'll put headphones in, they go to the gym or they walk the dog, whatever, and they can create a picture in their head. Who the bloody hell's worried about my glasses? I can take my glasses off, put them on upside down. Do you really care? I think most people know. Right, Sheila, show her the manga minute. It was a long one tonight, Sheila. Okay, I'll do it just for you because I said I wasn't going to do it again. So, guys, if it's 2 minutes long, this one. So if it's a bit long, go and grab a beer, go for a pee, whatever. But actually, it's good timing because I need another beer. So, all right, Mint, this is just for you, and I hope you don't know this young lady. There you go, Mint. That was just for you, okay? Manga Mint. We've still got the Ladyboy competition coming up towards the end. Right, Leeds, love her tattoo. I'm the other way, Leeds. I don't like tattoos on girls. I used to have a load of tattoos. I had them all removed in Ceylon. I had them. I was young. I was in the Army Cadets, something like that, and you can still see the remnant. I had them taken off with a laser. Look, you can hardly see. I should have gone back one more time, but I'm not really into tattoos. Ceylon, 4 wins. David, how you doing? Haven't seen you in the stream for a while. Nice to have you in. I love your channel and the stories. I use them as bedtime stories. I crawl into bed, I hope this is going to get kinky, David. I I crawl into bed, put a story video on, listen, and drift off to sleep. Oh, thank you very much. I know. Right, yours. Thank you for the super chat, mate. We have to get a few. I'll buy you a few games of pool the next time you come over here. Get a few beers from 7-Eleven, buddy. About to book my flight for April, May. So we'll see you maybe if you're back from the house sale, but flying into Phuket. Go see the girlfriend, but hopefully do 5 days, 5 nights. Yeah, and she's a lovely girl as well. Right, Sheila, thanks for that, Jos. Mint says the girl reminded her of the girls that dance on the trucks. I took her to Soy Cowboy, drank at Tilak, that's my favorite bar, but she didn't want to go inside. Okay, so she sat outside. The girls on the trucks. Okay, so let's see if she can guess the Ladyboy competition later on. Brian Street, good to see you upbeat and relaxed, mate. Good stream. Chog D. Yeah, good. Yeah, somebody said to me, somebody wrote, I'm not moaning, okay, I'm just telling you. Somebody sent me in a comment last week by email, and they said, Peter, you seem to be really bored now. You're not putting the effort in. You're rehashing the competitions, and it really isn't like that. I mean, look at my enthusiasm when I was in Pattaya, Pattaya. I did sort of 3 shorts. I did the live stream for 2 hours. I mean, I'm really not bored with it, honestly, guys. I'm not. I've got a video coming out on Wednesday. I know a lot of you guys aren't into this, but my friend Simon, he's got the Cannabis factory. It's completely full now, site 1, just about. He's now got site 2, which is a huge factory, and some of the investment came from some of my viewers. Now, the reason he's used investors, he could have done it with his own money, but it would have taken him a couple of years, and the gold rush is now, right? This is when everybody's going to make money. So some people have invested. So what I've done, I've gone over to the factory, I've made another video, and I've put him on the spot in a nice way. And I said, right, these guys are giving you all this money. What have you done with it? Show us. Basically, we've gone around the factory. We've looked at the growing rooms. He showed us the containers, and that'll be interesting. So if you're one of the guys who invested, you should see some. You should see some money back in about 6 months' time, according to Simon. But I'll release that video on Wednesday, and you can see, because he's using the money to build the containers, the lighting, putting all the irrigation systems in. It's very impressive now. The first time I put the video up on the channel, I had about 50 people unsubscribe in about an hour, and they were calling me a drug dealer. But I'm not gonna delete it. I deleted that one. I'm not going to delete it this time, because it is a legitimate business here, and people have invested, and I've just done it so people can see where he's at the moment. Okay. Dave Stewart says coyote dancers on car audio events always pretty. Yeah. If you watch CB Media, he's the biggest streamer in Thailand, I believe. He just caters to the petrol heads. He's got nearly 500,000 subscribers. He's Thai based, and he always goes to these like motorbike races, car races, drag races. They're very interesting videos, actually, if you're into cars. And a lot of the girls, they got a lot of pretty girls there, sitting on car bonnets and stuff like you have anywhere else in the world. Okay, right. I do realize I've missed a lot of comments, but they're coming in so fast I have to sometimes go down to the later ones. Right, Franco, travel, nice one. Cheers. Okay. Steve again, definitely money to make over the next 2 years. Expensive to set up, but pays in the long run. Yeah, I wouldn't have advertised it if I didn't have every faith in Simon. It's a good business model. I've known the guy 30 years. He doesn't rip people off. He's hardworking, and no business is guaranteed. But what he actually said, if it all went tits up and something went wrong, which it won't. But there is no guarantees. He did say that guaranteed written into the contract is 60% of the money back. So because a lot of it's spent on the irrigation and the lighting, as I said. Okay, but I better not get into it too much because it's not my business. Right, Martin Ryder. Cannabis Factory reminds me of the scene from Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrels. Yeah, that was a great movie, wasn't it? Especially with the line where he says, get the gun, and you're expecting them to get this, hefty gun out, and they come out with a bloody pea shooter and air rifle. Brilliant movie. Brick House is my favourite character in them sort of movies. If you don't know Brick House, he's the one who... when Turkish offers him a cup of tea, he says, do you take sugar? He says, no, thank you, Turkish. I'm sweet enough. Brilliant. Right, Paul Hoskin, now what? I don't have to heat my house because of the cannabis grower next door. Okay. You know how the police catch them in UK? I was speaking to a guy who actually grows it years ago. And I don't know if they still do, but what they used to do is send a helicopter out at night to fly over a town with infrared, and it could pick up the heat because a lot of people used to grow them in their lofts, in the council house in the loft, government house, and then have a cannabis just for their own stash, or they'd sell to a few friends, but they'd have it in their loft. And the police used to go with a heat-seeking camera, and then find one particular roof shone out, and they'd get a warrant, and in they went, kicking indoors. No, yeah, well, we've got Mint in here now, so I can't say your name anymore, Mr. Inspector. Number one rule: don't get high off your own supply. Okay, well, we're not going to do a drugs half hour or anything like that. Danish Bacon, Bricktop, yeah, brilliant character. Do you know what Nemesis is? Fantastic. You'll know what I mean by that sentence if you've watched his films. Mr. Knock, I done well on my lemon skunk in the UK. It funded my Pattaya trips. Oh, really? Okay, maybe too much information there. Be careful. You never know who's watching this. Peter Parker. Peter, not a pea shooter, but a Bren light machine gun. Now, that was a gun when they're in the apartment and the hippie girlfriend was kind of hidden under the cushions and they didn't see any. She got up with a break gun. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about when they were trying to get through the cage, and they were college graduates, weren't they? And he said to him, he says, I can't remember his name, Nigel or something. He says, Nigel, fetch the gun. And they came out with this air rifle and cocked it and put a pellet inside it and shot the guy in the neck. And he was like, oh, someone shot me, you know. But you're right about the brain gun. Okay, Sheila, you can, she has his name and had a giggle. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Right. Flat, what the problem with big boobs? Okay. No, it's a name. If you know what it means in Thai, it's not really polite. You know, it's okay for us, but there's a Thai girl in here now. I don't really want to say it. Even though it's supposedly okay. Let me go back on some of these older ones. Ken Christopherson. Okay, I haven't heard from you tonight, Ken. Peter, well, I don't remember seeing girls like that in a go-go bar. The ones behind, yeah, I think they're actually, yeah, they're not for rent, as it were. I think they're kind of like slash hostesses. Dave Stewart, Coyote dancers on car audio events, always pretty. I think I read that one out later. Okay, let's get down to some of the new ones again. Okay, all right. All right, because mincing, I'll do the Ladyboy competition now. Let's see how many we lose. I always lose a few when this is on. Okay, let me just have a quick look here. Right, so you know the game by now, guys. There's 8 pictures, 7 of them are Ladyboys. There's only one real lady, okay? And you should have a go at this, Mint. See if you get it right. And Sheila, okay? Just all I need to know is which number is the real lady, okay? Pu ying jing jing. Here we go. Bad tie. Right, remember there's 7 ladyboys and 1 lady, and the idea is to guess the right lady. Okay, so let's see who got it right. Danish Bacon, no. Thai Billy Boy, no. Martin Ryder, yes. Simon Goodison, yes. 2 right answers so far. Matthew Cartwright, no. Dixon Ormis, yes. Mr. Tom, no. Clive, no. Paul Scraff, yes. Massive Coconuts, no. Dave Stewart, yes. George, no. Nick S, yes. Richard Woolley, yes. Gary G, yes. Oh, it must be too easy this week then. Only in Thailand, no. Jeff say yes. HHD yes. Oh, a lot of right answers. Good. Matthew Alcorn no. Alec Waters yes. M&G yes. Isles of Sakindi. That's clever. No, not right answer, unfortunately. Dutch Farang no. 4K Chill Vibes yes. The Gormless Twit no. Taxi to Lao yes. Mint yes. Well done, you got it. McLaren no. Thailand fan no. Ryan is that Ryan Seeger no. Gregory Claus, you got it right. T Money no. Mickey Berkshire no. No Name no. Roger Ward yes. Darren Howe yes. Franco, you got it right. Franco got the top of the class. Peter Parker yes. Mr. Inspector no. David no. FC no. Who else we got? Bendover no. Ellesmere yes. Soy Dog yes. Stephen Roberts yes. A lot of right answers now. So let me just read out the right ones now. Get this done and dusted. Alfretta Jim yes. Rumble yes. Any others? Duffla yes. Clive will get it right now. He always gets it right near the end, funny enough. Mark P yes. Kyran Willan, is it? Yes, you got it right. We're only doing the right answers now. Innovations, yeah, you got it right. Any others? Any others? Sheila, no, unfortunately. I just I said I wouldn't say any no's, but you're female, so right. Charles Sanders, you got it right. Well done. Anybody else get it right? Dave Darkin, well done to you. You got it right. Papa Mike, you got it right. Anybody else? Clive, surprise, surprise, you suddenly get it right again at the end. Martin Blunson, yes. Richard, yes. Any more? I think we're almost there. Arto Lax, yes. Okay, I think we're there. Right, Thailand found last one, I think. 6 was my second choice. Okay, that's it. Right, let me put you out your misery. For those of you who got a lot of right answers there. Well done, guys. Okay, and we'll do that one again next week. It's just for fun. I mean, there's about 18 people are lost on that one, but you know, hey ho, here we go. Right, let's talk about Pattaya a little bit. Pattaya looks like the tourists are starting to fall. I don't think it's having the high season they wanted. Then bloody flight prices are killing people. It was very busy when I was down there, but I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it doesn't look busy because there's so much more on offer. If you went there, you know, I keep saying years ago. I don't want to be like, well, in the old days, but if you went there years ago, all the action, there was nothing after the second round. I'm talking a long time ago, right? You had soy 6, soy 7, soy 8, soy post office, soy whatever along there. Then you got to Walker Street and you had all the bars there. Then you had soy Diana off Walker Street. There was a lot on there, and that was pretty much it. But now you've got all that again still. You've got soy Bacau, you've got Tree Town, you've got LK Metro, you've got various gentlemen's clubs on soy boomerang, on, you know, everywhere, soy lenki. There's just so much, you know, they keep building more and more bars, and it's like Hua Hin. You know, Hua Hin's quite a sleepy town. You know, I like Hua Hin. It's got a lot, it offers a lot, but, you know, they've jumped on the bars bandwagon. And what's happening now is they've just built too many bars. In the old days, again, you had Soy Bintabat, you had Soy 80 and Soy 88, and that was enough. You know, the tourists all went to Soy Bintabat, which was next to the Hilton. Soy 88 was kind of like a local area, and it was all right. But now you've got Wonderland, you've got that big place behind Wonderland, which is empty most of the time. You've got another place opposite Wonderland. Yeah, it's just too much. What it is, they see these bars raking in the money and they want to jump on the bandwagon. And I just think when I was in Pattaya, like I only come back today, right? When I was there were a lot of people on the beach, right? Not just on Saturday. When I went on Friday, the beach at Jumped In was quite full, you know, surprising. A lot of people on the beach. I go to the same two ladies just after well, you won't know where it is, but I'll try and tell you. As you come onto the beach road of Jumped In, you drive along, there's a 7-Eleven, right? Big clue there. But there's a second 7-Eleven, and just after that, I normally park my motorbike, and there's two ladies who run their stores there, and I sit there, and I said to her on Friday, she said, "Oh, Peter, you come tomorrow?" And I said, "No, tomorrow's Saturday." Right, okay, let's just get rid of this guy. Hang on, troll in the house. Right, hang on. Right, let's just get rid of him. Makes you laugh, doesn't it? Like people come in, and you know, you've got choice. You can watch any YouTube channel, you can watch Netflix, you can watch anything. Like, people actually come in and watch you and say, "Oh, it's boring." You know, tell the guy who's holding the gun next to your head to drop it so you can go and watch something else. Christ Almighty, yeah. So you know, it was very, very busy, and the beach was busy. I thought it was busy. Soy Bacau was busy. LK Metro was busy. But I'll just tag on to the end of that story I was telling you. So the two ladies, they know me because I always go to the same spot, right? So when I'd finished on the Friday about 6 o'clock, I wait there till it literally gets dark. I'm literally like the last person to leave, and I always say, look, if you want to go, because they pack up all this, when people leave, they pack up the deck chairs. And I'm like, they're on my own with one deck chair. And she said, "Oh, you come tomorrow, Peter?" And I said, "No." I said, "It's Saturday tomorrow. All the Thais are going to come over. It's going to be packed." She says, "No, the Thais don't like it here because there's no trees. The Thais don't like to sit in the sun and all this." And I thought, yeah, she's only saying that to get me over. So I went over yesterday, and it was packed, not with Thais, with Farang, and so there is a lot of people in Pattaya at the moment, right? Mickey Berkshire. Uh, I got a good deal for next month, but too scared to look for later this year. Okay, why is that? Toby Price. If you fly with an airline and nobody is flying, they drop the prices to fill the seats. Thai Airways put up the prices because less people. We need to charge more Thai style. Look, the thing is, what you've got to remember is we're just coming out of high season at the moment. You know, it's the pound is falling against the Thai baht, and that's because one of the main reasons is because it's high season. Once we get into low season, July, August, when it gets very hot here, you'll see the prices will drop. They'll go back down to £650. And the baht will fall a little bit against the pound and the dollar and all the rest of it. Let me put these up one more time before I go. There we go. So what are we now? We're coming into February next week. So yeah, we're just getting to the end of high season, and you will see the price of those flights drop for sure. They're not going to be as they were before pre-COVID because of what's gone on in Ukraine and everything. Fuel prices are expensive now, aren't they? So, I got a good deal. I paid £700 direct on Thai Airways, but I've changed the flight 3 times. So I've now ended up paying something like £1,200 for it. But, I'm going back at the end of February because my house sale, I'm hoping it will go through because I don't want to be stuck in the UK. I really don't. Right. Let's have a few more of these before we hit the road. Jack. Right, Richard. I have a flight from Saudi to Bangkok in November for 250. That's a good price, isn't it? But then Saudi is 6 hours this way out of the UK, isn't it? So if you doubled that, that'd be 500. So yeah, it's a good price. David, any other Yanks in the house? Who do you like for the NFL playoffs today? I'm on 49ers. A few Americans in, David. Let's see what they say. I'll put them if they come back with an answer. I'll put them up. Let's see. Right, Paul. Going to be interesting to see what WS looks like when the Chinese lanterns come down. Seem to have pulled the area together nicely. Walking Street, yeah. I'm not really a big fan of Walking Street these days. I've kind of done it. It's dusted, We'll see. Okay, Clive, yeah, you're in love again now, aren't you, with a Filipino girl? I got a flight to Manila in 2 weeks, 657 on Cathay Pacific via Hong Kong. Thought that was a good price. Well, yeah, often when you get a flight and it goes via the Middle East or something like that, generally you can get it for between 100 and 150 pounds cheaper than if you're on a direct flight. But I like night flights, because what I like to do is go into the airport bar, sink a couple of beers, get on, by the time they serve food and you've had a glass of wine and everything, I crash out for like 8 hours. I still feel knackered when I get there, but I can't. Day flights kill me, because I can't sleep. It's really frustrating because what happens, I try to sleep on a day flight and I can't sleep, so I think, all right, I'll watch a movie. 5 minutes into the movie, I feel really tired because I'm watching a movie, and I get really sleepy and I think, oh great, I'll go to sleep now. Turn the movie off, try to sleep, and I'm wide awake. Try to watch a movie again, I'm tired again. It's like somebody's doing it on purpose to me. On Tiger, there's an article stating that patio levels are almost at pre-COVID levels. Yeah, so I didn't want to say that because Steve said it was quiet, but yeah, I think it has. I definitely do. And Bangkok, like I said to you a couple of weeks ago, where I live here, the restaurants are full. You walk past at 7:30, you won't get a seat. Thailand fan, beach walks are nice, cooler weather, nice. I'm looking forward when I go back at the end of the month. I'm looking forward to walking Benji again, going on some nice 2-3 mile walks. England's a nice country to walk in because it's cool temperature most of the time, and it doesn't always rain. You can always get a slot when the rain stops. That's one thing I miss about England. I was going to do a video 10 things I miss about the UK, but I don't think that'd be very interesting. But that would be one of them. Yeah, okay, look, a lot of people saying that only in Thailand. Got to agree with yours travels. Then bloody flight prices are killing people. But again, I'm going to reiterate it again. It's because it's high season. Give it till March, April. Those prices will come down. And I told you another tip. What you want to do if you're looking for prices and you haven't booked anything yet, do it in incognito mode in Google Chrome, because what they do, they put cookies onto your computer and they remember and they think, oh, this guy's serious. He really wants to find a flight. So the price edges up. That's the way to do it. Okay, thank you for that, A then. Okay, Mint, what are you saying? I like the weather in Pattaya at night. That's very nice when you walk near the beach. It is very nice. I did a live stream from the beach road, and I did a live stream from Jomtien, and I thought Jomtien would be nicer because it's quieter, but I couldn't find anywhere to sit down at night in Jomtien, and it was very hot on the night I did it, but I really enjoyed the one I did on the Pattaya beach because I met them two ladies. Remember, we sat down at that table, and I bought them a drink, gave them a couple of $100 each, and the lady Joy, I don't know if you remember her, she told me, she says, oh yeah, I work in the hotel, I clean in the hotel, I make the beds. And I said, well, what are you doing down here? And she said, oh, I'm working. I'm like, oh, really? But she wasn't making a lot of money, I don't think. Marcus Mustard, hi everyone, how about the planning? I feel excited dreaming about making a visit. Yeah. Martin Ryder says, inflation and interest rates. Yeah, if you're wondering what you'll get for your pound when you get here, there's a lot of places are only offering 39.50, 39.40, but don't worry about it because you still will get over 40 in a lot of places. And if you're in Pattaya and you use the TT change box, that's the yellow ones, but make sure they say TT something. They're the best ones. They will give you just over 40, because it makes a difference. 39 and 40. It's at 40 is that cut-off point, isn't it? Some of them they are ripping people off now. Like the beach roll, don't change any money on the beach roll. You'll only get 39.50, something like that. Soy bacao, you'll do okay. Just look around a little bit. I told you, if you're around Soy Nana, just go over to the Arab Quarter. There's a couple of change booths. One's better than the other. The furthest one in is better. Okay, Sheila says still stunning compared to the page 3 girls. Who remembers the page 3 girls? It was like Linda from next door. Was it some skanky girl on a council estate that was in page 3? That was all we looked forward to. When I was about 15, 16, that's all we had to look forward to was the Littlewoods catalogue coming through and the page 3 in the Sun. And if you don't know what I'm referencing with the Littlewoods catalogue, you'll have to imagine what I'm referencing. Okay, let's see what else. How long we've been going now? A few more minutes. Mr. Tom, right. My first 3 days are in Soi 4. Are you anywhere near there, Peter? I'm heading to Pattaya afterwards. Yeah, I'm quite close to Soi 4. I'm actually, I'm not going to tell anybody exactly where I live. Some people know where I live, but I'm not going to announce it on here. But I'm somewhere between Soi 4 and Asolk, one of the Sois, okay? So yeah, the reason I don't go out very often, actually, but it's psychological. If you're, I could have gone and lived on or way out on the SkyTrain route, but the reason I've picked here is because there is a lot around here to go out, and the reason I'm not going out because I don't particularly want to go out because I've got a nice apartment now. I do go out sometimes, but not often. It's psychological. If you know you can't have something, then you want it more. It's like if you're trying to give up drinking. When I used to give up drinking, I'd give up drinking for a year, right? What I'd do, I always kept a bottle of whiskey on the shelf and I'd give up drinking because I knew it was there, right? If I didn't have any alcohol in the house, I couldn't give up because I thought, well, what happens if it gets till 2 a.m. and I want to drink? I can't resist it. So yeah, that's why I decided to live here, because there's bars, restaurants, and if I want to go out, it's on my doorstep. Yeah, Peter Parker, you know what I'm talking about, and Kay's catalogue, yeah. We weren't looking at the fishing tackle, were we? Nick S, in America, we had the Sears catalogue. Okay, you all got my point, yeah? Not for ladies' ears. Not you're getting warm. It wasn't the shower curtains we were looking at, Martin. It wasn't this. It was another section in the catalogue. Remember, we were only 15. I'm talking 1975. There wasn't a lot to look forward to. I mean, why do you think we watched Benny Hill? It wasn't because we thought it was funny. Paul Hoskin, Linda Lasardi. No, I don't remember her. I've actually got a photograph with Linda Lasardi because years and years ago, I'm talking oh, what year was it? Probably 83, 84. I did a little stunt in working in nightclubs and stuff, and she came and she did a kind of set, you know, like a publicity stunt. I had a photograph with her, and I've also got a nice picture with Chaka Khan. I think I showed it here on the stream when I was in the UK. But she was nice, Linda Lasardi. She wasn't stuck up. She was, you know, right. Alan Hill, where's Ed Sweeney? I don't know. He's not. I'm not his dad. Why are you asking me? Mr. Tom makes sense, Peter. Yeah, okay. Right, Keynote. I'm with you, Clive, Lassie. Okay. Some of it. I don't screen these before I read them out. Maybe I should do. Toby Price. Do you really think that the pound will go up after high season? Everyone here in Thailand who wants a job can work here. No, not so. Yeah, I do, because I've seen it. I've seen it many times, even before COVID. There's only a slight fluctuation, but what will happen? This is high season now, right? Everyone's making money here. Once it gets to low season, the baht will drop, and you probably will end up getting 44 to the pound again in 3-4 months' time. I definitely think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I'm not reading that one out, Peter Parker. Filth. I'll put it up, but I won't say it. Correct. She was quite a popular page 3 girl, was Linda Lasada. Right, we've got a nice video to finish with. Let's do this one more time before we go.
And next one. Please give me cock. Cock. It's cock actually, right? Do you have cock? Please give me cock. Oh, please give me cock. I want a cock. Please give me cock. Cock. And ask them the price of cock.
Okay, Paul, he says, I thought I'd hit the jackpot as a kid when I found a copy of Reader's Wives on the bus on the way to school. Who remembers Reader's Wives? What a rough bunch of old wretches in there. I had a similar situation, actually. I remember years ago, we were playing, I must have been about 13, and me and a friend were playing in an old factory. And it all closed down that, and we found a men only. Do you remember men only in a bin? And we were fighting over who was going to take it home. And in the end, we ripped it in half, and he had half, and I had half. Terrible. Carl D, Samantha Fox. She's a horrible person. She was on one of these live. I forget what it was called, but it was one of these live kind of. I don't even know what you call it. It was a TV show, but she was in it, not as an actress. It was kind of what do they call it? She was like a barmaid, you know, in a real nightclub or something like that, and she got absolutely pissed. And the manager or the bar supervisor was saying, "Look, Sam, you don't do it like this. You're doing it wrong." Blah blah blah. And he was trying to help her, and she got, because she was pissed, she got all angry that he was telling her. She ended up by turning around. And she said, "Oh, you've got a small dick." And I thought, how pathetic was that, you know? So yeah, she's horrible. Leeds, cheers, Peter. Great stream. Thank you, Leeds. Not according to the other bloke who just came in 15 minutes ago and said boring. I hope the guy's taken the gun away from his head now. Soy Dog, Hot Gossip, Kenny Everett. Yeah, it's all coming back now. It was all them shows, wasn't it? Benny Hill. What was the one you just said? God, I've lost it. Hot Gossip, Kenny Everett. Yeah, and Top of the Pops, Pan's People. Who remembers them? And if you go back and watch them on YouTube, you put in Pan's People from 1977, you look at it and you think, God, they were nothing special. But when you were a 15-year-old boy, it was like a night to stay in, wasn't it? Toby Price, I don't like Coke. All right. Paul Scrath, hey, looks she can play the piano. Pete Bailey, she may have a big coat. Yeah, I did mention it earlier. That's a viral video because she's actually a real teacher. She's Korean, and she was obviously doing a class, and she really thought it was pronounced like that. And it is funny, but it's kind of cringe-worthy as well. And I've watched a lot of that videos. It's all over YouTube, and there's some stars who watch it and they're listening and they start laughing, you know. So I shan't show it again now. Pete Bailey, she may have okay. Mr. Tom, Do you know my Thai language, Peter, or do you mean do I know any Thai language? I know quite a bit. Yeah, I can name all the food in Thai. I can count in Thai. I can do the money in Thai. I can give directions in Thai. I can't sit with a Thai person and have a fluent conversation like you would do, like I would do with somebody who speaks English, you know. But I can go into a restaurant. I can tell them I don't want garlic or don't put salt and sugar in it. I can tell them what rice, what meat I want with it. I can do all that in Thai. I'm in a taxi. I can give directions, you know. I won't do them here because mincing, she'll probably laugh at my pronunciation, but they do understand me, and I can count and I can bargain at markets and that. So, you know, I mean, I haven't, it's just because I've been coming here so long, I've picked it up. You know, even an old dinosaur like me gets it eventually. Carl D. Um, David Bowie China Girl video banned on BBC Top of the Pops when it first came out. I don't remember that one, but I do remember the one that got banned off Radio 1, which is the Frankie Goes to Hollywood one. I won't even say the word here, but do you remember that? It was massive, massive. Dutch Frank, Penthouse. Yeah, yeah. They must have have they all gone out of business or they've just gone online? Because I can't imagine somebody walking in. Richard Woolley, Hustler. There was a famous film, a really funny, serious scene from a movie with Woody Allen. I watched it years ago, and what it was, Woody Allen, his character that he was playing, he goes into a big magazine, a big kind of it's in America, obviously, a big kind of fruit and veg or a shop. What do you call it? A supermarket, right? And they have a rack of all magazines, practical woodworking, do-it-yourself mechanic, and they had, you know, men's magazines. So the scene is Woody Allen goes in and he wants to buy a dirty book, right? But he's embarrassed, he's shy, so he tries to cover up. So he's looking around at any housewives with their shopping baskets, and he's just about to grab it, and a woman comes around with their shopping basket. So he picks up practical mechanic and he practical woodworker, you know, how to change, you know, look after your engine. And when the coast is clear, he's now standing with a pile of magazines, maybe that big, right? He gets like something called jugs, you know what the reference is to jugs, right? And he slips it in the middle, and he's like, he goes up to the counter to pay for it, and he's like, the guy's like ringing in all these magazines, and he gets to this one, and he shouts out, he says, "Harry," to the guy at the other side of the shop. He says, "What? How much is a copy of Jugs?" And all these housewives are there, right? And Harry the guy on the other end of the shop says, "Why?" And this guy on the cashier says, "Because this guy wants to buy a copy." Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's so funny, so funny. Yeah, that was it. Relax. Yeah, relax. Yeah. Clive says, "I'm shooting in the right direction." Yeah, okay. I think I know what that means. Paul Hoskin, the girl always asked me how old I was when I bought those magazines. We used to pinch them because what happened was we all did paper rounds, you know, because it's not like now where like my daughters have been given everything on a silver plate, you know. Bought them their own car and all sorts. Anyway, I grew up in, you know, I've mentioned before I was quite poor, in a poor family, and worked hard all my life. But why I had a paper round when I was sort of 14, and what we used to do, because when we went in to pick up the papers, so you'd have the news agents. If you're not from England, that's, you know, like a small shop that sells cigarettes, booze, and newspapers, and you know, the paper boys who have to deliver them. What the shop owner would do, if the shop opened at 6 in the morning, at 5 he'd get the papers and he'd put them into he'd have a list of what house has got what newspapers, and he'd put them in stacks, you know, Peter, Paul, John, whoever it was, so you had the right, when you got to the house, you know what, okay, they have the Sun, they have the Mirror. But what had happened, he'd have it ready, he'd let us in and he'd go and serve in the shop. Well, of course, that was where all his stock was, including all his dirty books. So we used to go in there and we used to pinch like 3 or 4 dirty books. I don't know how he never found out, you know. There's like 6 paper boys and we'd raid the dirty bookshelf, you know, and we always had a good supply of mucky books. Right, Pete Bailey. In high school, we used to hide the Penthouse inside the school book. Yeah, memories, isn't it? Christ, it's like another world, isn't it? Kids have the internet now. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I don't know if them those sort of businesses are still around. Clive, when you want to come? Yeah, that was it. I liked Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I preferred their second track when two tribes, you know, where you got. I didn't like the video where you got Reagan and the Russian leader fighting in the ring. I thought it was a little bit silly, but it was a good track. Very good song. I've signed up. You know, I signed up to Google Premium because I like to watch Google, but I don't like the adverts coming up. You know, even though I put them on my videos, because I like to make a bit of money from them. But I've signed up to Google Premium, so I don't get those adverts. But what you get when you sign up to Google Premium, you also get Google Music, and it's really good because I go out walking in the park, I put my headphones in, and you can choose like an 80s disco mega mix or a 90s R&B mix, and it's like an hour, 2 hours. It's great to walk around the park with, and it doesn't cost me any extra. Like a couple more before we go. It's over 2 hours now. Dave the Rave, you're in late. Hey Peter, have you seen any hotels 750 baht a night or less? They're quite expensive at the moment because it's high season. I stayed at the Nature View Hotel, which is a great in a great area, but you want to stay at the back, not the front, because it's noisy. And those rooms, when I was here, I keep saying when I was here like I went back, I'm still here, right? When I was living in, when I lived out of a suitcase for 2 months in Pattaya, that was in, I got here on the 9th of October. Them rooms were, it was 750 for a room without a balcony and 800 for a room with a balcony. Well, I've just had that same room with a balcony and I've paid 1,050. The Flipper Lodge, which is a nice little hotel on Soy 7 next to Nick's Bar, I was paying 800 a night for a really nice room there. No balcony, nothing, but it was very clean, comfortable, good location. They're charging like 12 to 1,400 baht now. So the prices will come down as we get out of high season. A lot of people are starting to go back now. But you know, really, if you want a budget hotel, you should be looking at about 1,000 baht now, between 1,000 and 1,100. You might get something for 900. You know, you've got to look. A Golder is a place to look. Right, Paul says, I seriously couldn't do YouTube without premium. One of the reasons I don't watch terrestrial TV anymore is I can't do advert. I'm the same, Paul. I watch YouTube more than Netflix because what happens is, you know, I'm working. You know, like now it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So when I finish, I've got about another hour's work to do before I can turn off the PC, and then I want to chill out with one more beer. Well, I can't get into Netflix, you know, because it takes too long to watch something long. So I like watching. I tell you what I like watching on YouTube. I like watching these scammer wind-ups, you know, where the guy who puts on the wig and he talks like an old woman for about half an hour, and it's, you know, scammers in India, and he's winding them up like he's an old lady, and then, you know, he wastes their time. But I find them a bit boring the first 50 minutes. So when I watch his videos, I always go 20 minutes in and just get the juicy part. The other one I really like is a guy called Pleasant Green. He's got a very nice way of talking and doing things. He's another one. He catches scammers out mainly from Nigeria. So I like watching them sort of things. I like a lot of history. I watch a lot of YouTube actually. And I agree with you absolutely, Paul. Without YouTube Premium, I couldn't watch YouTube, you know, because you get an advert every 10 minutes or something. I mean, you could say I'm a hypocrite because I put it on here, but you know, I get money from it, so why wouldn't I? But I don't want to watch adverts myself. So, you know, anybody who doesn't want adverts, it's cheap, isn't it? About £12 a month or something like that to get premium on YouTube. Yours, Troll. Yeah, premium. It's great, and you can have YouTube on in the background. Yeah, and the best thing is you don't just get premium; you get the music with it, like I said. So it's good. I think it's worth it. It's like I don't save anything on a hard drive on a PC now. Do you remember in the 90s up to 2000? You know, your hard drive would go. You turn on your computer and you get a black screen that say "No system found." And all your files were gone, you know, you had to go out and buy a new hard drive or a new laptop, and you had to start from scratch setting up your email address, and you lost all your files. And that doesn't tend to happen now. What I do, I don't store anything on my hard drive now. I do everything in the cloud, Google Chrome. It's fantastic. It costs me about £9 a month for 2 terabytes. And, you know, I can get the information on my phone. If I'm in Hua Hin, somebody asks me about something, I can just get it on my phone. I've got it on my lap. I'll have been here 6 months, right? All these streams I've done, all the thumbnails I've made, all the stories, the emails. I turn on my computer in my office in England, and it'll all be there because it's not on the hard drive; it's on the cloud, and it's safe. Okay, I think I'm about there, guys. Let's have a look. What else? Yeah. Okay. So look, let me just get rid of this comment. Yeah, it's been an enjoyable stream. Thanks for being with me. Had it over 300 in. We'll see what happens when I get back to the UK, and I'll start doing Friday and Sunday night at 10 o'clock again, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of numbers we get in. So I'm going to say thank you to Damon and Franco. I'll also say thank you to all the guys who left a super chat, and thanks to everybody who's commented on everything tonight. Thanks to Sheila, thanks to Mint for being in the stream tonight. Nice to have a couple of girls in, especially a Thai girl. And I'll be back next Sunday for a live stream. Okay, good night, guys. Thanks for joining me on the stream today.